Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music. Talk. Inspiration. In perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
Citi FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
Citi FM 97.3.
Today is all you have.
Tomorrow,
Your breath tomorrow is not guaranteed.
be gone.
So let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
You in
Fear God and keep his commandments.
your world.
For this is the whole duty of a man. For God shall bring every work into judgment, and every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So don't just chase after riches.
There is accountability that will be exacted on us for every action, for every thought, for every deed, including the very hidden ones.
And life is so short.
So on Business Sense this morning, we are reminding ourselves that we will not be here forever.
Life to live on.
Our breath is not a guarantee of eternity, but there is eternity after our breath.
So you see, my brother, that life is so short. It passes so quickly.
And God will bring every deed into judgment, including the hidden thing, whether it is good or evil.
Remember you.
So here is the conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. If you went about your work today, went about your day today, reflecting on these thoughts, that life is so short,
So you see,
I'm sure you'll be kinder to the people around you.
so short.
I'm sure you show mercy to those you think do not deserve it. I am sure you will do your work with more passion and integrity. You will go around your business with the righteous anger
You have breath,
to reflect things in a better way.
my brother, that life
This is the child we have.
it passes so
Our days are numbered, but we have a command, we have a charge to transform our space.
on earth. So remember your creator while you.
Before we say we find no pleasure in them.
So you see, my brother,
It's a very short message.
so short.
Ecclesiastes 12.
So quickly.
Bernice Affair makes it even more beautiful. And this song she calls Life is Short.
On earth. So remember your.
This is more than business sense, it's a life sense. It's brought to you by ADB. If you're a paid employee or salaried worker, you need a personal loan to resolve your financial issues. We're offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates. You will also enjoy a longer tenure of up to 6 years. This offer is open to non-customers as well. Kindly visit any of our branches. Call 0302-210-210 or 0302-224-043 for further inquiries. ADB is the People's Bank. ADB is truly a great more.
So short. It passes so quickly. And so it's gone.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Indeed, we're gonna help somebody, heal somebody, free somebody, forgive somebody. Because guess what? Today is all we have. Newspaper review coming up shortly. Brought to you by Fidelity Bank and Total Energies. If you're ready to turn your dreams into reality today, don't just dream it, own it with a loan from Fidelity Bank. If you're dreaming of a new home, own it with Fidelity Home Loan. Dreaming of a new car, own it with Fidelity Auto Loans. If you're dreaming of getting the latest phone, TV, fridge, furniture, laptop, or gaming console, own it with Fidelity Customer Assets Finance. Dreaming of expanding your business, make it a reality with our business loan. Fidelity Bank is offering flexible loans to businesses, salaried workers, and self-employed at competitive rates. Dial 0800-003355 or visit any of our branches nationwide today to turn your dream into a reality with Fidelity Bank loan. Terms and conditions apply. Fidelity Bank, believe with us. Now today, have you heard about the incredible benefits of Excellium from Total Energies? Let me tell you more about this premium fuel. With its amazing 3-in-1 power, Total Energies introduces Excellium new formula, the additive enriched fuel with its powerful 3-in-1 action that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. You will drive, sir. Experience the difference with Total Energies Excellium new formula. Choose Excellium, choose quality. Thank you, Total. Thank you, Fidelity. Bringing you the newspaper review. It's an interactive show. The number is 0549-986-996, 0549-986-996. If you see anything around, let us know and join our conversations as well on social media. Is hashtag CityCBS. My name is Caleb Kuda. This is 97.3 Citi FM Citi Breakfast Show. Godfred Akutubuafo is here.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And
to
Nathan Kwame is here as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello. Good morning.
It's a very reflective morning for me. I'm not sure how your day is going.
The weather is not weathering, but it's good.
Gives you that vibe.
Yeah. We complain about the heat.
Yes.
So now we don't have too much heat. We'll take it as it is.
This one, I don't like.
But something occurred to me. I 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You went to Beach Road.
Yeah, that was
to file a report.
Yeah.
About how they were losing
the shoreline.
Yes. So I did a follow up on your report. Yesterday.
I hope it's better.
How can it be better?
Oh my God.
You see, you remember that staircase you counted, the 15 steps?
Yes. It's gone, eh?
Right now, I think there are about 4 left. Then you will reach the road.
Wow.
Yeah, it's much, much worse, and the people are struggling. So
maybe
later on we can talk about how the authorities can go to that beach road
and
area
salvage the situation
and help them, because it's been 2 years. I was watching the video actually. I was like, let me just go catch up. And
that's what I'm saying. The things we do, we talk about, they deteriorate with time.
Yeah.
Things don't get better when we talk about them.
I remember one part of the video where you went to a public toilet.
Yes.
Now the female side of the public toilet is gone, so it's left to just the male side of the public toilet. And that's the toilet everybody in the community uses.
Oh, no, man.
Yeah. So then you can imagine what will happen. So
this is not
anyway,
good.
let me take to the front page of the Daily Guide. And the matter of the ambulance case, which Jakpa is on the front page, says CDS nails Jakpa on his dismissal. Parliament passes Ghana Shippers Authority bill. EC starts voter registration mop-up on the 1st of August.
Nathan? If you go to the Chronicle, it says CDS grilled over how Jakpa was released. This is in relation to the ambulance trial. Akufo-Addo commissions $60 million UHAS Phase 2 project in Ho. And Botem and Major land dispute, 3 being hauled to court for contempt.
The front page of the Anchor newspaper, Anglo Gold begins $1 billion NICU project for Takwa Municipal Hospital. There's some good news. Recruitment of 15,200 nurses, midwives begin on Monday, August 5. Health Minister Dr. Okoboy in his bow tie and an image of dancing nurses. Nurses, they like dancing, Papa. They dance more than they do the most more. Kalabule landlord increases rent from 1,500 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis per month. Right? Yeah, tenant pitches camp under tree to work.
The guy's in the UK, so every now and again he sits under the tree to do his remote work, but his landlord back at home is doing him shaky.
See, the new finder says lithium fiscal regime advantageous, but potential risks that could impact expected revenues exist. That's coming from the NRGI. Citi strengthens against pound sterling, and BOG warns of elevated credit risk amid banking sector recovery. And boosting agriculture, insights from Ghana's mid-year budget review for farmers, agripreneurs and agricultural associations.
Finally from me, the front page of the Economy Times, trade surplus improved slightly for first half of 2024. Interest rates to remain stable. Government records 2% deficit for first half of 2024.
Yes, finally from me, the Daybreak newspaper says SNIT jabs Sofa Ekufu over unsubstantiated allegations. GIS Customs probe Kulungungu incident. Akufo-Addo outlines achievements in health infrastructure, and Professor Mwaku makes input in Green Ghana project. Plus, West Blue grabs 95 million CD judgment debt.
Okay, if you go to citinewsroom.com, Backben is apologizing to Ghanaians over the controversial ally on MP's siren use. Government is recruiting 15,000 nurses, midwives, a political gimmick. This is the minority saying government to pay 95 million Ghana cedi judgment debt to West Blue over termination of contract, which you just read. 3 NDC MPs sue GRA Finance Ministry over tax waivers for 42 companies. We are told another person has filed an injunction against the KNUST VC's term extension. And 24-hour economy will address Akufo-Addo's economic mess. This is minority. NDC is more tolerant to criticism than the NPP Shamima Muslim here. If you go to My Joy Online, KNUST files another suit. This is here as well. Solving Ghana's problems goes beyond voting out NPP Kweku Kwarteng. Did you miss the EC's presser on the mop-up registration exercise? There are highlights there. And Kweku Kwarteng is here as well. I've done this. My article wasn't an attack on Akufo-Addo's government. This is Kweku Kwarteng. South Africa's ANC expels former President Zuma after election betrayal. If you go to my Class FM online, Mame Tiwa misled me to attack Adam Bona. MPP's Nana also appear. Okay. Ayariga pushes for CI to compel Baumia to resign as vice president. As he pursues his presidential bid. Let's go to allafrica.com. UN denounces Ghana's decision to uphold anti-gay law. Nigeria police want names of protesters, organizers, and location. And then also Museveni praises Uganda forces for stopping very bad things. You know, the youth of Uganda wanted to replicate the Gen Z protest in Kenya. Museveni crushed them, really. And Venezuelans clash with police after disputed election results. That's on the BBC. We can get into the details now. Go for it.
All right, then. Story that seems to have caught the Daily Guide and the Chronicle's attention. I'll be from different angles. It's the Jakpa case, the Jakpa testimony in the ambulance matter. Story on page 3 says that the Chief of Defence Staff, the Ghana Armed Forces Lieutenant General Thomas Opompe Price, they added further credence to the prosecution's case that Richard Jakpa was dishonorably discharged from the army. While under cross-examination by the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Godfrey Adami, the military couple confirmed that had Jakpa been released honorably from the army, he would have been permitted to use his title in private life and he would have had his name on the list of retired soldiers.
Right. Quote,
from all the factors and circumstances regarding his release, would you say he was honorably released? Mr. Dami asked, and the CDS responded that, as per the documents on record, I would say he was not honorably released.
Well, the Chronicles take also on the same thing, but they are saying that Mr. Jakpa's military service record is a point of contention in the courtroom. So they provide a play-by-play of how it played out in court. Thaddeus, sorry, his name has been mentioned here as well. So it looks like, as the story is evolving, this is like a major part of it, Mr. Jakpa's military record and all of that, before we move on to matters of heavier relevance. But if you go to the new finder on page 2, they are talking lithium. That is also, or that generated some interest some time back, but it's still on the burner. And it says lithium fiscal regime advantageous. Story is written by Daniel Nono, and it says an assessment of the fiscal regime of Ghana's lithium agreement by the Natural Resource Governance Institute indicates that while the country's take for the first lithium agreement is higher than the existing legislated fiscal regime and regimes of many other countries, there are several potential risks that could impact the expected revenues. The report, which was authored by Dennis Jair, an Africa Senior Program Officer, and Thomas Skerfield, Africa Senior Economic Analyst of NRGI, said that the government had negotiated a fiscal regime for the Awoya mine that ensured a higher share of revenue for the country. So that's also there. Even before we start any serious mining, there are still conversations around what the state will earn or what it should earn from the agreement.
Let me stay with a natural resource that we have, cocoa, on page 7 of the Economy Times. Cocoa production will not exceed 500,000 metric tons in the 2023-2024 crop season due to the swollen shoot disease, the World Bank has disclosed in its 8th Ghana Economic Update. In the 2022-2023 crop season, cocoa production fell to around 670,000 tons last season. The World Bank said the price surged from $2.39 per kilogram in 2022 to a record high of $5.56 per kilogram in February 2024.
Okay, now the youth of La to demonstrate against looted lands today. Story on citynewsroom.com. The coalition of La associations and Gadangbe Coalition Against Land Injustice will begin a series of demonstrations today against what they view as the unethical seizure of lands by political entities in the Greater Accra region. The group is particularly focused on the trade fair land, which encompasses areas occupied by Labadi Beach and La Palm Royal Beach hotels. They allege that the original owners have not received the legally required compensation. Additionally, they have raised concerns about the prison service lands at Cantonment, where a private developer plans to redevelop the facilities and use part of the land for private business. They're also protesting. They're saying that they won a court case and there's a land with Burma Camp involved and the CDS is not allowing them have that, so they're petitioning the president today over that as well. So all these in the mix with the youth of La.
Okay, I'll take you to the Anchor newspaper on page 2, which reports that the Ministry of Health has announced that it will begin recruitment of a total of 15,200 nurses and midwives next week. The exercise, which comes as a great relief for the graduate nurses and midwives, will commence this Monday, August 5, with deadlines for the submission of applications scheduled for Friday, August 23, 2024. This follows a financial clearance issued by the government through the Ministry of Finance to embark on the much-awaited recruitment exercise. The latest announcement comes a few weeks after the Ghana Education Service under the Ministry of Education announced a similar exercise for teachers with about 12,720 applicants in the first batch being recruited. It always fascinates me how these recruitments gets done 4 months or 5 months before the election. Constantly.
Certainly there's money for all of them. You know?
Let's see about that.
Well, if you go to the Daybreak newspaper, Snit is here. And they seem to be quite unhappy with comments made by former CJ Sophia Kufu.
Yeah.
Now, the management of Senate has told a former Chief Justice Sophia Kufu that she made an unsubstantiated allegation regarding the botched sale of Senate's interest in some hotels. Madam Sophia Kufu had accused the management of Senate of deliberately running down the hotels just to sell among themselves. And she said so in an interview on TV3 on the 25th of July. However, Senate, in a statement issued on the 29th of July, reacted to Sophia Kufu's statements and said, quote, the statements were false and they undermine the integrity and confidence in the pension scheme. Now, Senate went on to reiterate its justification as to why it decided to sell its shares, which had now been terminated.
I thought Akufo-Addo would take Ghana beyond Nkrumah's level. This is KOD on Citi Newsroom. He was on Point of View last night, and he has been speaking. He said he hoped that the Akufo-Addo's administration would surpass the achievements of Nkrumah, who is revered for his visionary leadership and significant contributions to Ghana's socio-economic development. Here's his quote. I had an opportunity to listen to him speak to some of us as creatives and what we had planned for the creative sector of this country, the orange economy. I thought he wouldn't do bad at all. Yes, I supported him. Further adding, in my opinion, strong convictions. I thought if there was anyone who was supposed to take this country to the next level beyond Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, it was probably going to be Akufo-Addo. He was expressing his disappointment in the Akufo-Addo government last night on Point of View as he justified his decision to join the campaign trail of the NDC together with Shamima Muslim.
I will take you to page 11 of the Daily Guide newspaper, where my good friend William Mutunga is here, former Chief Justice of Kenya.
I remember you interviewed him in Accra. I was your producer on Face to Face.
Yes, very, very nice gentleman. Yeah. We've met for
the Chief Justice who wears earrings. Eh?
Yes. Okay. I don't think they will allow that.
No way.
On page 11 of the Daily Guide, he says a new report by the African Judicial Independence Fund has revealed that judicial independence across Africa is under severe strain as many countries grapple with challenges that pose existential threats to the integrity of their judicial systems. The report, titled Overview Analysis of the State of Judicial Independence in Africa, highlights numerous challenges that threaten the foundation of justice in African nations, including government influence over the judiciary through executive appointments and judicial promotions, as well as disregard for court decisions.
Okay.
So the countries include Angola, DRC, Kenya, Ethiopia, Mali, Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana, Zimbabwe, and Uganda.
On the judiciary, let me go into judgment debts, right? Well, it's not on the judiciary. I mean, I'm just playing with words, right? Government to pay 95 million Ghana Citi judgment debt to West Blue over termination of contract story by Charles Owusu Kumi. The government is set to settle a judgment debt of 95 million Ghana Cedis to IT consultancy West Blue Consulting following the termination of its contract from 2015 to 2020. West Blue Consulting rendered technical and support services to the Ghana Revenue Authority, facilitated by the Ministry of Finance. And we are told the termination of the contract led West Blue to take legal action against the government, seeking payment for an outstanding debt amount of 289 Ghana Cedis, must be million. The award to West Blue was confirmed by the Commissioner General of GRA, Julie Esiam, during a public accounts committee. Ms. Esiam noted that indeed the judgment debt is 95 million Ghana Cedis. We will not be able to pay all 95 million, and therefore the agreement with the court is to pay these in 3 installments. So we don't have all the money we need, but we are terminating contracts, and so judgment debts are slapped on us left, right, center. 95 million Ghana Cedis judgment debts.
If you go to page 7 of the Daybreak newspaper, the Speaker of Parliament is here, and he has apologized to Ghanaians over the government's attempt to amend the road traffic regulations. The proposed changes would have permitted MPs and state officials to use sirens and be exempt from speed limits. The proposed amendments ignited public outcry, leading Mr. Bagbing to initially disclaim any knowledge of the legislative instrument's introduction in the House. In a formal communication to the House on Monday, Mr. Bagbing acknowledged the controversy and expressed regret for the situation. He said, quote, following the opposition's and firm stance against the airline, the government has decided to withdraw the proposed amendments. We apologize, or we recognize the public perception of insensitivity, and I'm here to offer an apology and assure the Ghanaian people that this parliament remains acutely aware of and responsive to their needs.
Apology accepted.
Well, there seems to be a dispute between the LPG marketers and the National Petroleum Authority. On page 16 of the Business Times says that LPG Marketing Companies Association of Ghana has strongly denied allegations that it opposes the implementation of the cylinder recirculation model by the National Petroleum Authority. This rebuttal comes after Dr. Mustafa Abdul Hamid, Chief Executive of the National Petroleum Authority, asserted that the association was against the CRM. In a statement issued by the association, they declared that the assertion that we oppose the CRM is categorically false. We have had extensive discussions with the NP and have mutually agreed that both the refilling and CRS systems should operate concurrently.
Okay, a number of stories of interest. Major line, my article wasn't an attack on Akufo-Addo's government. Guess who? Kweku Kwate, former Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwate, he's clarified that his recent explosive article was not aimed at his former boss's government, but it was intended as an internal discussion among members of the governing New Patriotic Party. He was speaking on Joy PM Express on Monday. Obuasi MP explained that his article was meant to address the broader political class that leads the country, not specifically targeting the MPP. So that's some clarification coming there. Meanwhile, the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Finance Ministry are facing a lawsuit over plans to grant tax waivers to 42 companies under the One District, One Factory initiative. The suit was initiated by 3 minority members of parliament led by their deputy leader, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa. The MPs are requesting that the Supreme Court suspend the tax waivers, arguing that they are not beneficial to the states.
Okay, then also the anchor says that CTAC strike enters week 7 as leadership awaits government signature on new agreements. So the industrial action by the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAC, has entered its 7th week as members have refused to return to the classrooms in blatant disregard of GTEC's directive and the subsequent freezing of their July salaries. The teachers lay down their tools in protest of their poor conditions of service and the government's failure to implement the arbitral awards given by the National Labour Commission. After weeks of negotiations, CTAC says it has reached an agreement with the employers. However, the government has failed to sign the agreement, making the documents now enforced.
Okay, Nathan, you have any more? Otherwise, minorities petitioning Shraj over alleged secret recruitment into security services. The minority in Parliament has formally petitioned the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, to investigate alleged ongoing secret, unequal and unfair recruitment by what they say the Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP government into key security services, including the Ghana Immigration Service, Ghana National Fire Service, Ghana Police Service, Ghana Prisons and Narcotics Control Commission. This is a big one happening on the side of the minority, taking on the recruitment into the security services.
Well, just the final one on security services. The Ghana Immigration Service and the Customs Division of the GRA have announced the establishment of a joint committee to investigate a recent altercation between their personnel at the Kulungungu border post in the Upper East region. According to a joint statement released on the 27th of July, the committee was formed in response to a video circulating on social media that captured a scuffle between officers from both institutions at the border post. The statement was jointly signed by the Assistant Commissioner of Immigration, Michael Amoakwata, Communication and Public Affairs and Deputy Commissioner Flores Asante, Head of Public Affairs, Ghana Revenue Authority. And in response to the incident, multiple hearings were convened between Mr. Kwame Esuatechi, Comptroller General of the Immigration, and Brigadier General Zibrim Bawa Ayorogo, Commissioner of the Customs Division, to address the situation.
Very final one for me. In India, landslides are killing dozens, leaving hundreds stranded. At least 43 people have died following major landslides in the southern Indian state of Kerala. Officials have said today a massive rescue operation is underway in Kerala's northeastern district of Wayanad, involving 250 people from the National and State Disaster Rescue Force and the Kerala Fire Service. PM Monjo, press secretary to the chief minister, to CNN.
Well, I'll take you to the Olympics on the back page of the Daily Guide, and one of the best known voices of the Olympic Games over the past 30 years or so. A voice we all know well. He's been sacked over sexist remarks about Ballard. So, as the 4x100 freestyle relay team of Australia were making their way off the pool deck in Paris, Ballard said they were finishing up, adding, quote, "You know what women are like, hanging around, doing their makeup, etc." And yes,
You
outrage
cannot,
about that. You know, there are certain things you cannot say publicly, especially. You know, so he's lost his role at the Olympics and he's gone home.
That's an interesting one we all have to learn. In the meantime, one of the top BBC newscasters will be facing judgment for having some children content that were found to be unlawful. Well, that's the newspaper review.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, at what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
When you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out of your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know it's out of your side. And when you dream, no, say I live by you. And when you hustle every day, anywhere I go, everything you do, I live by you. Anywhere, if I believe I live your side. Fidelity, if I believe with us. Fidelity, if I know I live your side. Fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
It's time for the business news, and Nee Latte is here. The business news is brought to you by Access Bank, MTN, and Goyle. Good morning, Nee Latte.
Good morning, Caleb. Hello, this is the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and Access Bank. Coming up, there is still a strong push for the removal and reduction of e-levy rates following drop in mobile money transactions and government's planned reintroduction of road tolls. Also, Ghana Tourism Authority fails to transfer 34% of its internally generated funds into the consolidated fund, leading to revenue shortfalls for government. Plus, if you are a shipper, there is some respite coming as the days of unfair and excessive charges at the port will soon be over because the amended Ghana Shippers Authority Bill has been passed into law. My name is Nee Latte. Thank you for joining us. Details of our stories now. Government is increasingly coming under pressure to scrap the electronic transfer levy. This follows the announcement by government to reintroduce road tolls in 2024. The calls are also coming at a time the value and volume of mobile money transactions dropped for the month of June 2024. The following report has more.
The introduction of the e-levy led to the suspension of the collection of road tolls, as the government indicated that part of the revenue accrued from the e-levy was to be used for road infrastructure. In 2023, for instance, government collected over 1 billion cedis in revenue from the e-levy. But the recent announcement by Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam in the mid-year budget review about the reintroduction of road tolls in 2025 has consequently triggered a debate, particularly on social media, as many are demanding the scrapping of the e-levy. Generally, some members of the public are dissatisfied with the e-levy.
For the e-levy, since e-levy was introduced, I mostly avoid transactions like above 100 cedis. And the e-levy there, almost they should scrap it off. I mean, I don't know what they're using it for actually.
As an individual, this particular task affects me a lot. So if I have to actually do a transaction, instead of sending money to somebody, because I know I'll be paying e-levy, I'll rather ask the person to allow cash out. In that case, I'll be able to dodge the e-levy.
For the Mobile Money Advocacy Group, scrapping the e-levy will help resuscitate their business, which has taken a nosedive over the period. The group's Director of Operations, Stephen Gorman, explains to CNL Business the urgent need for the government to act on the public's demands.
From the scratch, we said this policy will not help us. It shouldn't go ahead. But you can have your say, but they can have their way. Now, we'll continue to say that government should revise it. With the e-levy, when it comes to mobile money, you are paying everything. So if 1% flat rate, and that is what is killing our customers. So if it can be even like 0.2 is cool.
I've come to the University of Ghana Business School to pick the thoughts of economist Professor Patrick Esumi. Although he agrees with the sentiment for the removal of e-levy in favor of digital collection of road tolls, he believes it will be difficult for the government to relinquish the revenue stream amidst current economic conditions.
I personally don't think we should try scrapping the e-levy to bring in the tolls. The e-levy is not a good tax. With or without tolls, it should be removed. A tax that is imposed on a particular method of payment is not a good tax to impose. If you want to tax electronic commerce, you should tax the electronic commerce and not tax the mode of payment. One thing we should understand is that it is very difficult for the government to give up any revenue line when it's introduced any tax.
Finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Patrick Esumi, ending that report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakiti. Meantime, review the e-levy policy, enhance security measures to prevent fraud and robbery, promote economic policies that benefit mobile money users. The demands of the Mobile Money Advocacy Group. This is coming when data from the Bank of Ghana shows that the total number of mobile money transactions for June 2024 dipped significantly, falling from the May figure of 668 million to 644 million. The group says its careful analysis showed that the trend was as a result of the e-levy on mobile money transactions, fraud, robbery, and the current economic situation. It is thus proposing a delayed transaction processes that will allow transactions to be delayed for 5 minutes in processing to ensure that these challenges are tackled to ensure confidence is restored in mobile money transactions and promote overall financial inclusion. Away from that, and the 2023 Auditor General's report has recommended sanctions against the management of the Ghana Tourism Authority for failing to transfer 34% of its internally generated funds into the consolidated fund. The Ghana Tourism Authority reportedly transferred only 16.3% of this amount.
The 2023 Auditor General's report highlighted that the Ghana Tourism Authority's management did not transfer 608,892 Ghana cedis to consolidated fund as required by law. This discrepancy was identified during the audit period, and the report recommended sanctions under Section 96 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016 Act 921. It also revealed that out of 2.9 million Ghana cedis collected as internally generated funds from various regions, the authority paid only approximately 2 million Ghana cedis, leaving an outstanding balance of 130,664 Ghana cedis. Additionally, the Greater Accra Regional Office lacked supporting documentation for the unbanked amount related to its expenses. The report concludes that the authority must face sanctions and that its management should investigate and ensure all unbanked receipts are fully accounted for across all regions.
A Business Desk report. The Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority continues to grapple with border security challenges as smugglers and illegal traders evade checks, causing significant revenue losses for the state. Addressing this issue, the Commissioner General of the Customs Division, Brigadier Zibrim Bawa Ayoroyo, announced plans to implement advanced scientific approaches in the coming months to strengthen efforts to curb revenue leakages. She made this assertion during his appearance before the Public Account Committee of Parliament, where he stressed the need for innovative solutions to enhance border security and safeguard national revenue.
We have an agenda of applying geospatial intelligence. Indeed, we have been assisted by the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. Now, when you have geospatial intelligence collection method or approach, what it means is that you have some level of border protection. You are able to identify hotspot of smuggling. You are able to have the route of smugglers. It gives you inter-agency cooperation in terms of intelligence. Indeed, this system is coming in place in September, God willing. Now, normally when you have lack of manpower, you have to use this system of geospatial intelligence. That is one approach, because now we have to apply science. We do not have the personnel. This science will reveal the position of the activities of our own and others, and that is likely to give us a lot of revenue.
That's Brigadier Zibrim Bawa Ayoroyo. He is Commissioner General of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Now, the bill that will regulate commercial activities of shippers have been passed into law by Parliament yesterday after a successful third reading on the floor of the House. Now, the law will primarily address the issue of unfair and excessive charges that burden traders who use Ghana's sea and airports as well as land borders to ply their international trade. It will also introduce transparency in the determination of port fees and charges, and will by that ensure that there is accountability in the legal movement of international trade cargo across all of borders in Ghana. It further aims to make Ghana a preferred transit trade channel for her landlocked neighbors, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and overall enhance the sector's revenue contribution to the national purse. Moving on, auditing and accounting firm PricewaterhouseCoopers Ghana is raising concerns about the long-term sustainability and stability of Ghana's economy if the country exits the IMF program. The firm asserts that the short-term economic recovery is not sufficient as detailed in its 2024 mid-year budget digest.
In its analysis, PwC emphasizes that these concerns are influenced by past developments and the effectiveness of government's measures to ensure continued growth after the IMF program ends. Commenting on the Cabinet's approval for the establishment of an independent fiscal council, PwC opines that such council would only add unnecessary costs. The firm suggests that the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018, Act 982, if implemented thoroughly, should help maintain government accountability and fiscal discipline. Regarding the agricultural sector, PwC advises that the government must consult extensively with all stakeholders and outline a long-term vision and overriding strategy to improve self-sufficiency in selected agricultural value chains. Successful transformation of the agricultural sector, it notes, will help reduce the pressure on international reserves and support a more stable Ghanaian cedi. The accounting firm further urges the government to reform its general consumption tax, VAT, and its associated health, education, and COVID-19 recovery levies. These reforms should align with the medium-term revenue strategy and address the immediate reform calls from leading presidential candidates for the 2024 elections and business leaders.
Emmanuel upon with that Business Desk report ending the breakfast edition of Citi Business News. But before I go, let me take you to the currency markets where the dollar could be sold to you at 15 cedis 85 pesos, the pound selling at 20 cedis 30 pesos, that of the euro going for 17 cedis 60 pesos. The breakfast edition of Citi Business News was proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. My name is Neela Latte. Do have a good business day.
Beautiful people, we are live in town, soaking in the excitement about the partnership between Access Bank and PABS, revolutionizing the way people move money across Africa. Let's hear directly from those reaping the benefits.
It's a relief. Anytime I send money back home, my family receives exactly what I send them, instantly.
I'm studying in Ghana, but originally from Nigeria. With this service, my parents send my school and hostel fees directly, and they do it with so much ease.
I run a fashion business. Let me tell you, sending and receiving money across Africa without those annoying forex fees has really cut down our operational costs.
Benefit from instant payments across Africa with zero foreign exchange hassle. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free on 0800 004400 for all your cross-border payments.
Pass it with Access Bank.
Access Bank, more than banking.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma. The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Harry Styles is set to launch the nation's participation in the Paris 2024 Olympics. Now, this competition marks his first Olympic appearance, an important milestone for both Harry Styles and Ghana, and he's currently in the top ranking of the male swimmers in Ghana based on the World Aquatics point table. Now, at 11:15 a.m. this morning, Harry Styles will compete in his 4 of the swimming event, and he will face competitors including Antonio Nicolas from Cyprus, Senegal's Say Matthew, Smith Jamod from St. Lucia, Uruguay's Leo Noles, and 2 other swimmers. Now, Stacey will swim in lane 6 in the men's 100-meter freestyle event, aiming to be among the top 16 swimmers across all heats to advance to the semis. We hear from Harry Stacey, who says his objective is to set a new national record in the men's 100-meter freestyle event.
Yeah, just can't wait. Honestly, I'm just really excited to get out there and do my best. No, not at all. I mean, I know my place, and I'm going to try and, usurp some people, get faster, do the personal best if possible. Yeah, going to go out there, do my best. Calmness. It's like, it's home. I'm used to water. Water knows me. I know water. We're best friends. So, once I start racing, I'm just happy, man. It's a great arena. It's lovely. Like, I was there this morning, just watching the heats, not even the finals, and the atmosphere was insane. Like, It's really like a football experience, not just some regular swimming. Like, it's huge. It's I'm over the moon that I get to be a part of this. Anywhere around my personal best, to get a national record with that would be amazing. But yeah, I don't set a time. I just go out there, do my best, and see what happens.
All right, so watch out for Harry Stacey later this morning at 9:15 a.m. in Paris. He'll be in lane 6 of the heat 4 of the men's 100-meter freestyle events. Talk of swimming at the Olympics, South African swimmer Tajana Smith won the 100-meter breaststroke to secure Africa's first gold medal at the Olympics. China's world champion Tan Quintin took the silver medal, and Ireland's Mona Makshari looked stunned, tears flowing after an extraordinary 3-way battle for bronze. Here's a South African after her impressive swim.
I don't think anyone can explain it, but like I said last night as well, it really, for me, the emotions were really because it took a village to get me where I am today, and I know they would have been proud even if I didn't have a medal, but it was really for them. I swam for everyone that's been there for me, that's believed with me, and yeah, I think for our country as well. Our hashtag for it is for my country and it really is. It's just to inspire someone at home to know that they don't have to disqualify themselves from the race. They could also potentially be a Olympic champion. There's always something to learn out of every race, and I think for me with Tokyo was the only thing I wanted to change is really just to focus on my own race and I really just did that. So even if I didn't get a medal, I would have been really happy with that, because there's things that you want to do and bet on yourself, and yeah, I gave it my best, and I'm so grateful that I am walking away with the gold medal.
All right, so that's South African swimmer Tajana Smith winning the 100-meter breaststroke events at the Paris Olympic Games. Well, the Olympic men's individual triathlon at the Games has been postponed after tests revealed water quality at the River Seine did not reach the required standard. Now, the race was due to start at 8 a.m. this morning and will now take place on Wednesday, 10:45, following the conclusion of the women's events. Swimming training sessions were cancelled on Sunday and Monday because of the water quality, which was impacted by the recent heavy rainfall. Well, in Canada, their women's football team have launched an appeal against having 6 points deducted in their Olympic group after a drone was used to spy on a rival team's training session, but they haven't appealed against Coach Bev Priestman's 1-year ban. And what we know is that the final decision of the Canadian Olympic Committee and Canada's soccer appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport is expected to be heard on Wednesday. A CAS statement on Monday said Canada seek a decision either cancelling or reducing the point deduction. So we'll keep you updated. In tennis at the Olympic Games, Novak Djokovic outclassed his long-time rival Rafael Nadal to win the Olympic second-round match and continue his bet to land an elusive gold medal. Djokovic looked on a different level to Nadal for most of a one-sided contest, which he won 6-1, 6-4 on the Roland Garros clay. For the women's singles at the Games, Poland's Iga Świątek, who is favourite for gold in the women's singles, breezed into the third round with a 6-1, 6-1 win over France's Diane Paris. American second seed Coco Gauff also advanced with a 6-1 win over Argentina's Maria Lourdes Carles, and while Italy fourth seed Yasmin Paolini, who finished runners-up at the French Open and Wimbledon recently, also won 6-4, 6-1 against Poland's Magda Linets. Czech ninth seed Barbora Krejcikova, who beat Paolini to the Wimbledon title, also moving to the last 16, as did Greek seventh seed Maria Sakkari and Germany's Angelique Kerber. So the top seeds going to the next round of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Well, to some track and field events, an American sprinter, Noah Lyles, says he's stronger than ever as the world 100-meter and 200-meter champion just for the athletics event to start at the ongoing Games in Paris.
Been through the hardest parts. I've been at the bottom. I've fought my way back up. I've fixed the weaknesses. Now here I am, stronger than before. If I lose this time, it's not going to be because I beat myself. It's just going to be that they had to be that much better. And as I get to these big moments, I thrive off of these. This is what I've prayed for. This is what I dream of. These moments right here, I get more excited the bigger the crowd is. And in fact, if there is no crowd, that is most likely when you will see me lose. Like when there is no, exactly, i.e. Tokyo. When there is no crowd, it is the biggest chance that I will lose. That's when you should put your chips down. But the bigger the crowd, the more likely I am to win and run fast and be the best me that I can be.
All right, so that's American sprinter Noah Lyles speaking then. So the Paris Games track and field competitions will start on Thursday, August 1, and conclude on August 11. That's on Sunday. Lyles will compete on the following days. Men's 100 meter Saturday, August 3 to Sunday, August 4, and the men's 200 meter from Monday, August 5 to Tuesday, August 6. Well, for the Ghanaian team, Benjamin Azamati is in action on 3rd August, 9:45 a.m. In the 100 meter event together with Abdul Rashid Samino, and later on Thursday the 4x100 meter relay team will compete on 9:35 of the Paris Olympic Games. So we'll keep you posted in regards to how they fare. Well, here in Ghana, to the Division 1 Super Cup, and Oko United secured a crucial 1-0 victory over near the Biasi United in their opening match, placing them at the top of Group A. Later today, 2 more games coming up at 10 a.m. Vision FC will face the Chiman Liberty Youth. And for Vision FC, their head coach is Nana Kwiku Ajiman, and he's expressed his enthusiasm for the challenge of competing against the Premier League's top coaches this season, particularly looking forward to facing his mentors.
I think that so far we are getting very good coaches in the Premiership. You mentioned Prosper Ogun. Prosper is a very good friend of mine. I did my license A with him. We also did our FIFA coach educators courses together. Him and this coach that has left for South Africa, Maxwell Knedu. Yes, unfortunately Maxwell is out. I would have loved to play against Maxwell. So Prosper knows that when Nana is coming, he knows that he has to stand up. He has to stand up and face a challenge, and I know the same thing about him. Yaprekon is also another very good friend of mine. I did my C with Yaprekon, and we talk a lot. I remember him calling me and congratulating me, and I also called and congratulated him when he got his appointment. And the first thing he said was that, "Hey, wow, I'll be about my problems," And I told him that you'd also give me the same. But we have very good crop of coaches that are going to give the competition. Look, if you're a coach and you're afraid of competition, look for a different job.
All right, so that's our Vision FC head coach Nana Kwiku Ajiman speaking to City Sports. They wrap up with some transfers, and Arsenal have completed the signing of defender Ricardo Calafiori from Bologna in a deal worth £42 million. The 22-year-old who can play as a centre-back or left-back has signed a 5-year contract with the Gunners until 2029, and he further strengthens a defensive unit that conceded only 29 goals last season and kept 18 clean sheets in the Premier League. So good stuff from Arsenal. And that's your sports this morning on Kickoff. For more sports stories, you can head to citisportsonline.com and on next at City Sports JHO. Back later at 5 p.m. with Sports Flash. My name is Gabi Ofe. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Shell, Lesheho and Zonda. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
Citi FM, the Citi Breakfast Show. Ben Bracco in the background. He calls this one a tweet. I don't know what it means, but I love it. And I know one other person who is loving it. Engineer Eric Atasonu. Good morning to you. It's the birthday of some amazing people. Happy glorious birthday to Asha Obingdako. And this is coming from your dad, Thomas Obingdako Todd, and Uncle Abeku. I know Uncle Abeku. I think I do. So glorious birthday to Asha Obingdako, coming from Thomas Obingdako, son of Grace. Another one says, happy glorious first birthday to Farrell Owusu. We pray the good Lord protects, keeps you safe to grow, to become responsible, that others will look up to you for greater heights. We love you, son. This is from your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Owusu. My friends ever appear of World Vision and Florence of UMB Bank, a special birthday. I am grateful for their lives. Enjoy your day, girls. And this is coming from Barbara to Eva and Florence.
Okay. This one is from Kweku Fosuhene Apinting. He's celebrating his wife. It's his wife's birthday. Dr. Mrs. Lois Fosuhene Apinting. And the message is, I cherish every moment we share and wish to spend the rest of my life with you. Anna, Danielle, Jude and I are blessed to have you in our lives. So that's Kweku Fosuhene Apinting, celebrating his wife, Dr. Mrs. Lois Fosuhene Apinting.
God bless Godfred Abeku Odum, the richest man, for this very song. It's exciting, and VW Ghana is also announcing its exciting 40K promo campaign. For every T-Cross subcompact cross SUV purchase, you save 40,000 Ghana cedis. For every Amarok pickup purchase, you save 40,000 Ghana cedis. Listen, take advantage now. Drive Ghana, drive Volkswagen. Harry while stocks last season. Seas apply. For more information about our range of models, Vetus, T-Cross, Tijuana, Allspace, Terramount, and the Amarok pickup, call or WhatsApp VW Ghana on 0257 956688. Now let me tell you a story about an old neighbor, a hard-working baker who makes the tastiest pastries for many years. She's always had a small shop. Now on my way to work today, I passed by her shop and she's upgraded to deliveries. All it took was a conversation with Absa. Absa, so she got a collateral-free loan of up to 500,000 Ghana cedis with a 10% annual interest rate. The best rate on the market today. So for all you budding entrepreneurs seeking the next chapter in your stories, visit any Absa branch to speak to someone to help you guide you on your journey. Because at Absa, your story matters.
Now it's a new morning and you want something to have for breakfast, I recommend Twisco, the exciting new chocolate beverage out there on the market from the producers of Cowbell. Is made with a premium blend of cocoa powder and it's enriched with Enerford, which is a combo of energy boosting minerals and vitamins. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream, and this ad is FDA approved. Now there's gas in the about gas. Just go out there and get yourself gas to use. The NPA is bringing you this particular announcement, and they are announcing that the new cylinder recirculation model is out there. Just take your old gas or a cylinder that's empty and go to a nearby exchange point and trade it in for a filled one. No more long trips or waiting around to fill your gas cylinder. This message is proudly brought to you by the National Petroleum Authority and the Ministry of Energy. And your living room deserves class, warmth and memory for your family and friends who visit. That's why Ash Foam should be your friend. They've got amazing products just designed to give you focus on your comfort. Call them on 0243 200 729 or 0559 027 907 or visit any of their showrooms in the big malls and other locations near you. Free delivery to your doorstep, but be mindful of internet fraudsters. Be an Ash Foamer now. Ash Foam, feel it, know it.
At a fraction of the cost. Do you want a vibrant student experience in a community that equips you with useful employability skills, taking you one step closer to the career of your dreams? Enjoy all of these and more, plus up to 50% scholarship of your degree at Lancaster University, Ghana. Be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards, and campus is amazing. For more information, please call us now 020-960-7008 or visit www.lancaster.edu.gh. You can also email admissions@lancaster.edu.gh. Yeah, Lancaster University Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa. $7.41. And the squad is here. Good morning, Bernard.
Good morning, Caleb. Thank you for sitting in. Today I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
Charlie Bernard has taken his North Korean dresses down to new levels. Charlie has it in different colors, different shades, different.
You know, I've had a very busy weekend. So I went to Afienya on Saturday morning for a program, and then when I came back, I came for the literacy challenge in Accra Digital Center at Circle. So that was a long drive. And then on Sunday as well, I went towards the...
From Afienya to Accra Digital Center.
Yes. Wow. So I went to Afienya. And then on Sunday as well, I went... In fact, on Friday, I started on Friday. On Friday, I went to Adenta from work. And then I went to Afienya on Saturday. And then Sunday too, I went towards the Medina area from town. You know, for me, there are two issues that we need to deal with. See, when a functioning society, when something is flagged, it doesn't need to take 2 weeks to do it. Okay. Let me give you an example. Atomic Junction.
What's happening?
When you're driving from Presec to Atomic Junction towards Zongo Junction, there's this overhead. Godfred, it's now a death trap. You know, when you build a road, you don't want to just have a straight road. You join different components of the road. Yes. Because when the sun shines, it's the same for rail. There's expansion and contraction. So you leave some space. So those gaps are important. But the gaps on the Atomic Junction one have become so dangerous that they become like potholes.
Hey.
Yes. So your car can actually enter and your tire will just burst. So some cars slow down, but because the drive from Presec towards Atomic Junction is a free drive, so a lot of people may be going at a certain pace, and it's a very dangerous road. This thing, we chatted about it for 2 weeks.
Nothing happened.
And I asked myself, it's like when I meet people from highways, it's like every day you are on our case. Yeah. My point is, you don't even need, just listen to the radio. You don't even need, you don't even need people to go and stand anywhere. Just listen to the radio. That thing is dangerous.
They are launching an app.
It's not. We don't need that.
They want you to tell them. They said use the app to tell them about the bad road.
No,
they'll come and fix it.
I don't. Godfred, most radio stations if you check your messages, the number one thing people send to you, community issues, water not flowing, my light is off, the road has traffic. Those are the basic things people want. You get me? So, and even though we are a national radio station, we are forced a lot of times to do local stories because the system is not responsive. This Atomic Junction thing, they will wait. But mind you, this is the same place that the explosion occurred, not too far off. All right. I don't see why. And I know companies that even have material that they can supply that can be used to fill that gap for now. We wait till it becomes a major national problem. The motorway, the part that now they've gone to put asphalt on. Some years ago, there was a small hole that started developing. We started talking about it 2013, 2014. They waited till the gap became a hole, and they had to block the whole motorway for almost 3 days. It took Ibrahim Mahama to fix that thing. He used some metal thing. My point is that we should be more responsive to community needs. So that's one. Number two, Vivian sent Jude to go to Afienya area. So basically, Tema motorway runabout to Ashaiman runabout to Afariwa Community 22 to Michelle Camp to Mataheko areas. He did a 2-day program on traffic, day and night. So he did a traffic situation in the day, traffic situation in the night. This is one of the most important arteries. It's so important that the first railway this government is doing is from Tema through that side to Akosombo. If that road wasn't important, they wouldn't do a rail there. All right. Now, that road should have been dualized 20 years ago. When you look at the population map of Ghana, the largest, the largest locality is Bonkatamanso. You can check the 2021 census data. It's 430,000. It's larger than Kaswa. It's larger than Oforikrum. It's larger than Tamale. It's larger than Gama, Greater Accra. It's like AME. It's larger than Gan West. It's larger than Gan South. It's called Bonkatamanso. It starts from Kbun. In fact, the place I drove over the weekend was that place. The roads are horrible. So if you take Ashaman, Bonkatamanso, and Samuel George constituency, the mixture of the three, so that locality is the largest growing locality in the country. Why? I spoke to somebody who told me that the land there is not as encumbered as land in other places, so it's easier to build. So if you take a map of the area 20 years ago and compare to today, the place has expanded. We are dualizing the Accra Cape Coast Road for good reason. We are redoing the Accra Kumasi Road, which should have been dualized 30 years ago. We haven't done it. Now, of course, Nkrumah had the sense to dualize the motorway. Motorway is an artery. The Aflao one that takes you through Dawenya and the one that takes you to Akosombo. Look, Afienya is now Accra. Do you get it? Because from Afienya, all the communities that come in, Kakasunaka, Bay Chile, people live there and work in Accra. It's a single lane road. And as if that's not bad enough, there are massive craters in the road. A crater is basically, is it your car you drive, Kia Rio? Your car, when you drive, the whole car will go inside before it comes out. So it's not like a pothole again. The whole car, and I'm not lying. Like there was a place, Don Bosco Church. They call it Don Bosco Catholic Church, Tema International School. So those who are coming towards Accra, there was a funeral there. It was crazy. Because it's just, and my point is, okay, fine, you have ordered on a contract, but there should be maintenance. You say the government announced that they were doing road maintenance. Are you telling me that if you look at all the roads, how do you measure the importance of a road? It's based on the economic activity and the people who live there. This is the largest locality in the country. Check Bonkatamanso 2021 population census.
It's close to 500,000.
You understand? And there are people doing wood business, timber, all kinds of things, construction. It has universities, Palm Institute there. It's just horrible.
They said they don't have money.
Come on. You know, let me tell you something. Sometimes we think, well, and I may be wrong, the area may not be that important politically because maybe they vote for one party. But the truth is that we are cutting our nose to spite our face. Because you see, if cities don't grow, we can't raise money to develop the country. if people, the basic way a country develops is the prosperity of its citizens. Because nobody's going to give you any money anywhere that will be better than the money you raise here. Now, its productivity is the basis of economic development. Now, if somebody cannot be productive, they won't create value, and they don't create value, they won't pay proper tax. If somebody is not healthy, they can't be productive. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not something you do on the basis of they vote for us, they don't vote for us. You take the road and you do an objective economic assessment, and you ask yourself, what will opening up this road do? If you have to find a way of raising the revenue, tolling it, whatever, but you have to come up with a combination of funding sources to build the road. So to leave that road the way it is, that road takes you to Senchi, Akosombo. You can go to Volta region. In fact, it's shorter to use that road to the north than it is to use the Accra Kumasi road. This has been proven. If you want to bring yam from Oti, from Bimbila, from as far Nankmanduri, in fact, Yendi, if you want to get to Yendi to come to Accra, it's shorter and easier if that Eastern Corridor Road were done, because you would go through the Oti region, come through Hokwe, connect through Asikuma Junction, come through Akosombo, then you drive straight down to Tema. And by the way, Tema is actually the port. So if there's any road to do in Ghana, it's not Accra Kumasi, in the sense that if you want to open up the north, and by the way, a business like if you have a factory in the north, I think it's more beneficial because of the many things it does. All right, the unemployment there, the poverty level. See, take a poverty map of the country. Northeast, North, Savannah, very poor. So if you have a big factory, you have people who produce yam. So my point is, there has to be some urgency, even if the road is delaying. You cannot allow that level of potholes on a busy road like that and just be happy. I think somebody is checking their responsibility. You can't allow that. Do you understand? Forget about the politics of it. If you fix a road, people who live there work and pay taxes. It has nothing to do with. I heard Ashama MP say they've left his roads because it's NDC. And I think this is so pathetic. If this is true, let's fix that road. This road takes you from Afienya. In the past, when I'm going to Peki, when I get to Afienya, I know I'm getting closer to Accra. Now I can't even differentiate between Afienya and Accra. Those days when you get to Afienya police station, they say, hey, Enchebebedu Accra. Now, before you get to the Afienya police station, there are houses everywhere. So the Afienya police station itself is the middle of the whole thing. You get me? It's the same for Accra Kumasi Road. In the 80s, when you are driving from Accra, when you get to John Tay, they say, hey, Accra Bank.
It's true. Yeah. I remember when I was going to Prempeh, on the STC bus, when you see John Tay on the right side,
now John Tay is in the city. You see, so what we've done from the Pokwasi interchange, and we have to open up in fact, I don't even see what we are afraid of. Dualize Accra Cape Coast, dualize Accra Kosombo, dualize Accra Kumasi, dualize Accra Aplao.
It's interesting because
that's what you do, because it reduces accidents, it makes people more productive, and it really enhances economic activity.
Only yesterday, I was speaking to an official from the Ghana Highway Authority. We were having a conversation, really, and he was like, look, I listen to you guys all the time, and he was giving me examples of things we had said to prove that they listen to us. And he says that...
What does he do? What we say?
So that's the point. You started with that. The argument, the reason why we have these conversations is for something to get done about. And it's like, sometimes we speak and we don't understand the reality.
So you should come and explain the reality.
There are bureaucracies and about the street lights they've written, they've sent proposals, and the Ministry of Finance has not approved some budgets.
Let me tell you. If they start sacking people, for dereliction, they will all wake up.
Yeah.
When I have MP friends, when they wanted roads to be done, Okoboy, when he was MP for there was a particular 3-month period. Every day he was at the road ministry.
Yeah.
They even called the road Okoboy Road.
Yeah.
Because that road, Teshin people say if you don't do that road, you are finished. Every day he was in the road ministry, highways, because he knew there was consequence for that road not being done. The road was done. So the point is not like we don't understand. It's because he's okay.
There's no sense of urgency.
We are not saying that there's money to do every road, but you can't tell me that you spend money to say you are doing road, maintenance, and you see Tema to Ashaima roundabout to Afienya, and you tell me that road, people who work there, I went on and said, they say Fridays, it's just impossible. And what makes it worse, Michelle Camp, soldiers, they'll sit in their car, come and pass.
Yeah.
Fire service, come and pass. Immigration, come and pass. GRA, come and pass. So you see the point? Those who are supposed to, so anybody connected to the state thinks that the rest of us are scum. So we don't have sense. So we should stay in traffic. Then you are going to a funeral. You are carrying. You understand? It's a completely crazy situation.
Yesterday,
if they all sit in traffic, they will think about making that road work. It's because they are not part. That if they had dared to pass that road traffic amendment to allow for them to use sirens, you would have seen the biggest demonstration in this country by middle class people.
I was even yesterday, my good friend Nilexis, he's constantly talking about the Tema road, and yesterday he was on one side. He was very upset. He was stuck in traffic,
and there's some people
were going across with the sirens, and he's like,
look at that.
He's late for work. Look at this, But like I said, maintenance app is coming.
Are you serious?
Yes. Today, it's actually been launched today. So the Ministry of Roads and Highways is announcing the official launch of its maintenance app and call center as part of the enhanced road maintenance program today at 9:30.
So what is okay? Let me give you a benefit of the doubt. What is it supposed to do?
So you see the road you were complaining about. When you download the app
and
you get the Afienya, the road is okay. Then you enter to the app.
That the road is bad.
The road is bad. Then you go away.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. You see, there are a couple of things I need to ask here. Does it work with data?
Yeah, so it will collect the routes for them so that they know that there's a problem here, because maybe they don't know that there's a problem on that road.
Come on.
But what else can it do?
This app.
Bernard, hold on. Yeah. It says it's the official launch of a maintenance app.
A maintenance app.
Yes, and call center. What do you do with the call center? So you've seen the road.
So they should call and.
So when you see that road, you have the app, you have the number. So you dial. Then you say, hey. But
okay, let's even assume that it helps to do what we do.
Yes.
The places where there aren't enough good roads, would they even have data to download the app and use it? Do they have a USSD version?
Today at the launch 9:30.
We'll get to find out.
So you're serious about this?
That's it. Yeah, I'm attending it.
Where is the PR of the road ministry?
Ahmed, good morning to you.
There's a nice photo of his boss here too. He's launching it.
Bernard, you know that on the performance tracker that government has launched and opened for people to check projects that have been done, there is a project that was listed as 100% complete, a road project.
Adam Robe.
The residents were protesting, demonstrating last week because nothing has been done on that road. But if you go to the performance tracker, it's been listed as 100% complete. Started 2021, completed 2023.
The Adamabe road is a tragic road because you see, this is the thing. If you want to move from the eastern part to the western part, you need to use the motorway.
Yeah.
So Oyibi. So for example, if you're coming from Akosombo, there's a route from. There are many ways you can enter Dodowa. All right. Now from Dodowa you can get to Oyibi. From Oyibi, if you're going to the eastern region, you could easily use the Adamabe route because basically it's Oyibi to Ebri. So Adamabe is basically the road that connects from Oyibi to Ebri. Very short road. It's in such a terrible state. Fine, you can say it may not be a priority road because the route usage may not be that much. Fine. But I'm saying that, Godfred, you deal with what is necessary before you deal with what is nice. Your main arterials, Accra, Cape Coast, Takrade, Accra, Kumasi,
should be in excellent shape.
Accra, Akosombo, Accra, Aplao. Use Accra, Aplao and see. About 4 roundabouts have been abandoned. Right? Now, again, you may not have money to finish it, but leave it in a state that doesn't worsen the problem. Do you understand? You say, because people are already struggling. So if you say you are doing a road and you run out of money, at least leave it. And I think some of our contractors have become
complacent.
Yes, because look, you can't do this in other places. You have done a road, fine, your money is finished. At least leave it in a way that you get me. It makes it so difficult.
Because I'm told the motorway maintenance project, we've been talking about this asphaltic overlay on the concrete. And apparently, Maripoma is the contractor doing the maintenance on the motorway. And I'm like,
this is another one. you have a concrete motorway which has potholes. Then, and I confess, the day they did the asphalt, I was happy because I'm not an engineer. When I use the road, I say, hey,
over you,
Godfred, I learned a bitter lesson.
6 months after.
It's 3 months.
Oh, okay.
And the nature of the potholes in the asphalt is even worse because you don't see it early, and it's orthogonal. So you're driving and it just appears.
Yes.
And the way it appears, and in fact, there's one that if you want to swerve it to the left, you enter a gutter. If you want to swerve it to the right, you may enter somebody. So you just have to slow down. But the deception is that for the first maybe 150 meters, it's smooth. So you think that Charlie Yankonkwa?
Yeah.
I think they should even put signs there to say, like a signboard to warn.
But Bernard,
there's nothing.
You see, that is why my call has always been, and I hear people are taking this up. Reduce speed limit. Yeah. Because as soon as if you stay, we should put a sign on the motorway that pothole ahead.
Yes.
Then it is no longer that.
But we know that the jury.
It is no longer that.
De facto, it's not a motorway, but the jury it is. Yes. On paper it is, but in reality it's not.
Yes, but we need. You see, for me, it's the time. It is the productive hours. It is costing people. It is the lives that are being lost. It is the cost of fixing people's vehicles on the daily. Tires are getting burst. Your shocks, your whatever is getting broken on that road. All you have to do is simply say, look, we are reducing this to 50. You place police on sections of the road, far more visible than you would see.
I've never seen police on the motorway.
Exactly. Meanwhile, if you took,
it's the most dangerous road in Accra.
See the graphic packaging just here.
You see plenty of them.
There are almost 15 policemen.
What are they doing there?
In that triangle. There. The graphic parking. There are 50. Yesterday I counted. There were 15 policemen.
How did you deploy police? Motorway in the night. Yeah. Almost every 5 minutes, an accident on the motorway.
That's where
you have police sitting at traffic light at a friend is saying, Lands Commission.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Sometimes they're on their phones.
Yeah.
Please, let's solve our problems. Let's not make it look like every day we come to insult people. But this is not fair. To have, even the way we deploy, look, the tunnel. I spoke to you about the tunnel. You have a cattle tunnel that at least 500 cars use every day.
Yeah.
There's no police there. There's no street light there. How do we value people's lives? Please, we can do better. Seriously.
We'll bring you tech and social media. Definitely, we can do better. There is more coming up on this conversation. But tech and social media is brought to you by Telecel and also First Bank Ghana. Now, the biggest dream starts small, so this long vacation, enroll your children or what on the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program from July 15th to September 15, 2024. Enable them gain valuable work experience. All you need to do is to sign up your children or wards for the Kids First account designed for children up to the age of 12 or for the Me First account made for teenagers aged 13 to 17. Make an initial deposit of 300 Ghana cedis in their account and apply for the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. Your child or ward will experience an exciting 5-day internship at any of our branches. So if you want to find out more, please visit any of our branches or call 0596 921 921 or email firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first. Now, are you ready to meet the next millionaire in town? Telecel More Money promo is exciting. 2 lucky winners have been awarded 30,000 Ghana cedis each this week at Medina and Ahafo in the weekly draw. What are you waiting for? There's 1 million Ghana cedi up for grabs. Simply reload your mobile using your Telecel cash wallet and be part of the daily and weekly draws where you could win up to 30,000 Ghana cedis each. Purchase data or airtime and you can be eligible as well. So to be part, reload and better your chances of winning in a Telecel More Money promo. To opt in for free, dial *500# or send WIN to 500 or visit the Telecel Play app. Is a promo that is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. And Nathan Kwao is ready with tech and social media. Nathan, what are people saying?
Well, different things really. Yeah. Different things on social. For example, the sports heads are talking about transfer news Wan-Bissaka, Rashford. Yesterday, Arsenal signed Ricardo Calafiori, so Arsenal fans are also talking about him. And Godfred, Argentine player Julian Alvarez, he's granted an interview talking about his lack of game time at Manchester City last season. And he's saying that, well, he will see what happens, or we will see what happens if he's going to go back to City or not.
Okay.
So people are talking about that and creating a lot of transfer speculation out of that. Chelsea's Gallagher is also trending. He seems to be on the radar of Atletico Madrid, and so they are interested in signing him. They are still discussing things with Chelsea.
Okay.
To other matters,
No, before you step away, just for those who are monitoring the Olympics, at 8:27 a.m., we have a Ghanaian in the pool, Henry Stacey. Harry Stacey will be swimming at 8:27.
8:27 or 9:27?
8:27 is the time that I see. So he's swimming at 8:27.
Okay. All right. So Harry Stacey's in the pool this morning. Go Team Ghana. To other things, Greater Works is trending. Those of the ICGC fraternity are celebrating Greater Works. It starts today, 9 a.m. in the morning. Started yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's happening there. So those who are interested, yes, it started yesterday. Nathaniel Bassi, I'm told, will be there. And it's ending on the 2nd of August. So,
yeah, they put up a spectacular performance last night with their arts and music department.
Okay. All right.
By some powerful message from the General Overseer.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly get into some tech news. Now, U.S. Justice, or the Justice Department in the U.S. last Friday said allowing TikTok to continue to be operated by its current parent company could allow the Chinese government to covertly influence U.S. elections. Now, in a federal appeals court filing, prosecutors raised concerns that TikTok's algorithm could be used in a secret manipulation campaign to influence the views of Americans for its own purposes. Now, the filing is in response to a federal lawsuit TikTok brought against the U.S. government in May in an attempt to block a law that could force a nationwide ban of the app. That law, which President Joe Biden signed in April, says that TikTok must find a new owner by mid-January 2025 or it will be banned from the U.S. entirely. So, very interesting story there, TikTok. We wait to see how this will eventually play out. I remember when the court case first happened, I said, let's see. It looks like TikTok responded. Now, the Justice Department wants to make sure that TikTok will not play a role in its own estimation in deciding who wins the US election.
Okay.
Since 1894, we've witnessed the evolution of a brand and proudly partnered with its people on the path to prosperity. From the ink-stained ledgers of the past to the lightning-fast transactions of today, First Bank has consistently adapted, embracing innovation while cherishing the legacy of our heritage and making giant strides across the globe. It's not just about banking, it's about enabling your success generation after generation. Our legacy defined the past, shaped the present, and in 2094, we will still be fostering financial security and stability for future generations. We are helping to create a future where the possibilities are infinite, the opportunities borderless, and where the world looks up to Africa. Let's awaken the giant in you. You first, First Bank.
Kind of way, tell you how the more money.
We keep talking on the state of our roads, road infrastructure, the quality of our road experiences. And the Ghana Highway Authority is the institution mandated to provide road infrastructure, engineering, and management services. We'll be trying to engage some of them to get you more answers as to why you experience what you go through on our roads and what is being done to enhance the experience you get. But this is for our dear moms and dads indeed. Aren't you tired of fighting with Junior each time he goes out to play? Because Junior wants to play, Junior has to play. But we know sometimes Junior's clothes can get terribly dirty. And who must do his laundry? We understand laundry is hard work, so from today, join the millions of Ghanaian moms, sweet mummies, and old girls who have gone back to their beloved Omo. The new Omo is packed with powerful stain removal properties and is extra gentle on the hands and now has a new unique sweet smelling fragrance for all your clothes. In TFRs, grab Omo hand wash or Omo Auto for machine wash at any grocery shop or supermarket near you. Omo, powerful stain removal with long-lasting fragrance. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority is introducing the stamp textile tax effective July 1 this year. This stamp protects your jobs and livelihoods from illicit trading, counterfeiting, and smuggling. This is not a tax, it's just a compliance measure to protect the textiles industry in Ghana. So, which products are affected? All African print textiles are included. So, look out for the green border for domestic products, red border for imports, and blue for the transition period. Remember, look for the textile tax stamp when you buy. Protect our local industry and jobs. For importers and manufacturers, register and get your stamps at your nearest GRA office or online at www.gratextiletaxstamp.com. And for all sellers who have such textile prints already in their shops, kindly contact your suppliers for your blue stamps. Please note it is an offense to display, buy, or sell products without the stamp. Enforcement begins July 1. It has begun already. Remember, no stamp, don't buy.
Now, if you are speccing that old car or trying to, make your home over, or you want to go on a relaxing beach getaway, you can do that with APSA. Use your APSA card 10 times or more in a month, and you could be the lucky winner in the APSA Change Your Story promo. From now to the end of October, 5 lucky winners will take away 40,000 CDs each every month to change their story. T's and C's apply. Your story matters. APSA. Now, Ashesi is reminding everybody that admissions are ongoing and that you can imagine launching your career or starting your business or embarking on advanced studies within 6 months of graduation. At Ashesi, that's nearly every graduate's reality. Visit ashesi.edu.gh to find out more. And the Ghana Revenue Authority is reminding everybody that Wednesday, the 31st of July, is the final day if you have to file your returns for the VAT, NHI, Get Fund Levy, and Communications Service Tax. If you do not do so, you'll be paying a penalty of 500 CDs and a further penalty of 10 CDs for each day the return is not submitted. You can visit taxpayersportal.com to file your returns or use the USSD code *222# or go to any of their 23 designated banks. For more info, get in touch with the GRA on 055-299-0000 or send them an email info@gra.gov.gh.
All of my people, we hustle every day. When I do no evil, just go forget your pay. Just go on all a firm meditation. No matter what the CEO them a say. We just
Getting back to the important matters that matter to you. We are on them until they get fixed and get better, so you can have a better life and go about your work. The atomic flyover, for example, the expansion joints have become problematic. Now, if you go to the Malam flyover, the road has been asphalted, which is good. Now, when you get to the expansion joints, that side has been left. It's been left undone and is giving motorists a very, very bad experience. We've been talking about this, so it's not for want of knowledge that these problems exist. What is the commitment of the authorities, relevant authorities who have been tasked to lead us and give us a better outcome? We'll be talking to them when we get them. Many messages have come through.
From Casper says, good morning, guys. There was asphalt work.
Precisely what I'm talking about.
Malam Flyover several weeks ago. The work has caused the expansion joints to turn into gullies. It's very painful to use the flyover these days. Most drivers would rather now use the road that goes under the interchange. That's Berma Total, and rejoin the main road. Good morning, Ben. On the road from Afinia to Apollonia, linking Oyibi, Katamansu, and Ashaiman is at this worst state. But it's not only that, the robbery on that stretch is brutal. This is Joel from Ogbojo, East Legon. And next, guys, I share your concerns. The Malam overhead has the same problem. The Bayer direction to McCarthy Junction has the same problem.
Yeah.
They have asphalted the road and left the gap unfinished. It is slowing the movement of vehicles. Sami from Mampro says, thank you.
Good. Godfred, we have the PRO for the Ghana Highway Authority on the line. So we'll engage him very quickly. Cecil Ni Obodai Wentum is the PRO. Cecil, good morning. Thank you for joining us on the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Caleb.
Great. Now, what's that?
Happy to join you guys.
Fantastic. Now, if you've listened, always we are talking about roads, the motorway. There was a life was claimed last week on the motorway. Several accidents have occurred on the motorway. The streets, the lights are not working. Several potholes. It was fixed. Now, the bitumen, the asphalt is gone. There are others that the extension joints are a problem. And we are always talking about roads, but it doesn't appear that there is a sense of urgency in fixing these. And there's a lot of frustration when you speak to Ghanaians. What's the emotion in the authority? And I mean, with respect to addressing these concerns we've always been complaining about.
Caleb, I want to thank you for the concerns you have raised. And not only you, but all of us who use it. And I want to use this opportunity to also caution motorists and all others who ply that stretch. That, I mean, as much as we are all concerned, we must also appreciate the fact that the motorway has lost its structural integrity, but it has not lost its functional integrity. It is still functional. And so, as human as we are, and we use that stretch.
So when you say the motorway is still functional, it's functional as a motorway, what do you mean? Because per my understanding of the motorway, what we have connecting Accra and Tema has lost its relevance as a motorway.
Yeah, so I said it has lost its structural integrity. It has not lost its functional integrity. So we all use it. So we must just be cautious as we use it. And that's all I want to say. And I'm sure every engineer listening to me this morning and every other person listening to me this morning would appreciate what I have just said. I've separated the two. The only thing that we've got to do, which I understand from all the concerns you have raised, is to move in and replace the road. And I guess you are aware of processes that have been triggered to start that constructional work. Okay, so I don't want to go beyond this point, but the thing is that as we all use the road, I will only appeal to motorists, to drivers, to be cautious driving on that particular stretch because it has lost its structural integrity, but it has not lost its functional integrity.
Okay, so
Cecil, I have a question. Godfred, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Godfred, yes. It's been a while.
Yes, it has been. I will want you to explain a bit what you mean by its functional state. Does that mean that we can still drive at the speed limits that legally we're supposed to drive on this current motorway?
No, we cannot. And as you know, Godfred, I listen. I pay critical attention to your program, and I have been following you from time to time, and I know your concern about the road infrastructure that we have in this country. Godfred, some 50 plus years ago, the motorway was commissioned. It has lost it. It's expired. So what it is now is that you can't do the 100 kilometers per hour or the 60 kilometers, whatever it is, you can't do that on the motorway as it is now.
So, Cecil, has the Ghana Highway Authority reduced the speed limit? Have you announced anything to show that?
With our sister agencies, the road safety authority, the National Road Safety Authority, and all. We are. I mean, at the point in time, they had put some measuring, things on the motorway that you can't go beyond this point. But the problem with us again, even within our communities, see how people drive. So I think for me, we must rather bring in enforcement mechanisms to deal with how people now use the motorway. And that's where I can get in and appreciate some of the things you are talking about now, like Godfred just raised. So the speed limit will now reduce. It is no longer an express highway as it is until we move in to restructure or until we move into rehabilitate or reconstruct. Let me even use the word reconstruct. We can no longer call it an express highway. So you, Caleb, if you are driving on that road, knowing very well that the road is not what it is, would you do 100 kilometers per hour on that road? No. Also knowing very well that there are settlements on both sides. Would you do that? Look, you get to some sections of the road and yourself, people virtually get onto the road and stop you, the driver, approaching for others to cross the road. It means that it has lost that integrity. So I agree, but I am also aware, just as I've indicated, that we have done a lot. And you know that there's a contractor on the road in any way that has mobilized the site and trying to enhance the mobility on that stretch, which is Maripoldman. And so all things being equal, I am aware that things will move and then they will create the necessary, accessibility for everybody to use the road so that, yes, we reduce the accidents like you have indicated earlier. We reduce the accidents and then we all move on until everything is done.
Cecil, I'm sorry, but I have to push back on the response you have given us. We do understand that there is a certain level of responsibility for the road user, but you cannot take away that the ultimate responsibility is your unit who have to tell us publicly that you cannot drive at this speed. The enforcement that needs to be done of that speed once it is announced publicly has to be done from your end. You understand? So you cannot lean on the good feeling of citizens to stay safe on the motorway. I think you need to do a bit more than that in that regard.
I agree with you on that, Godfred. I mean what you have said is true. We have the Road Safety Division of the Ghana Highway Authority, and I think it's one of the things that we need to put in place. And as the head of the Public Affairs Division of the Ghana Highway Authority, maybe we will have to embark on some extensive exercise, engage some of you with the goodwill that you have for us and all that, so that we will start, demonstrating what you have just talked about. So we see how we can engage motorists, we can engage the stakeholders to see that they understand the nature of the road they are traveling on or traversing on now, so that we can minimize some of these accidents. So I agree with you perfectly on that.
So let me close in on the motorway a while. And you say Maripoldman is on the stretch. What is it going to do differently? Because the last time we saw that asphaltic overlays were put on the concrete, in less than a month, everything has gone off. And while they're also saying that people should be careful while they drive on the motorway at night, I don't know how careful you can be. Given the state of the motorway now, I don't know just how careful you can be with the street lights not functioning and the potholes all over the place. So tell me about the
I appreciate this.
Yeah, so let me finish the question. So tell me about what Maripoma is doing differently now. What's his brief? And then also about the street lights on the motorway. What are we going to see about that?
I mean, so far as he's on that stretch to fix that road, what is doing is to enhance the motorability of the road and just make it motorable. So as and when the sections that are deteriorating show up, and I'm sure he's just going to fix it. But I mean, if you understand or appreciate the way the motorway is going to be, we're going to have a number of lanes. The main carriageway will be there. We will have a number of service lanes on both sides, and I am sure that he's going to work on those service lanes to take away traffic from the main carriageway when it is completely done, and then we will move traffic back onto. So that's what I am aware. But you are also aware that as a country we have gone through some challenges financially, and this debt exchange program has also affected a number of projects that government started. I don't speak for government; I speak for the authority, and I can let you appreciate that. I mean, a number of our projects that we have undertaken or started has been affected as a result of the debt program.
So has there been any efforts to fix the street light situation on the motorway?
Somehow we are getting through that, and I would want to assure, the people of Ghana that definitely we're going to go through this, and we will see most of our projects coming back, and we will see, some good news. So, from that point, this is what I can see.
Specifically on the street lights, what is your response? When are we going to see the street lights functioning?
Caleb, I am happy. I will share data with you after I've finished talking to you. And I would want you to use this opportunity to also let the people of Ghana know. Look, a number of people who I put in quotes unpatriotic are destroying some of our infrastructural facilities. Look, people deliberately go and take out things, destroy these things. Either they are stealing them, they are taking part. So it is not that the street lights are just going off because they have to go off, or they are expired and they have to go. But people are stealing parts. And I've had the opportunity of speaking to the media on this very issue before, especially on the motorway. You wake up one day and all of a sudden you have more than 10 poles or 20 in a line. They are all gone off.
Yes, that point has been established, and I think work is done towards it.
How is that possible? And all these facilities we're talking about, they communicate among themselves. There are connections. They speak among themselves. So if you plug out one part and you take out some parts, and people are stealing. Look, not too long ago, I was on the motorway. I was so saddened what I saw. There's something they call the handhold. You see, the phase 2 of the motorway that is being done now by JICA. If you go there, you'll be surprised. The metal covers that are on top of the held hand, the holders that goes underground to connect the traffic light, to connect the street light, the underground, cables. They have all been cut. Cut by who? Ghanaians. What is happening? They've been cut. They've gone underground. They have removed those metal covers.
So I just want a specific answer that we move on from the motorway. So when are the street lights going to be fixed? What are the efforts?
So I'm just telling you, I'm just becoming a bit emotional, and I'm just telling you that these things happen deliberately because we also have some unscrupulous people amongst us in our communities who are not taking us.
Fair enough.
I think as a country, enforcement, I think that we must work hand in hand and see how we must get people arrested and punished. And so that it will serve as a deterrent.
Good. While we're at it, when are we going to see the commencement of repair works or refixing of the street lights? Do you have any information on that?
I've spoken to our road safety people, and I've just been informed that some approval has been given. I'm also aware that we have received some notification from the National Procurement Authority, and all things being equal. I mean, we will proceed with that. But as and when we move, I will alert you guys.
So you've gotten some details about some mobilization for the street lights to work, but for procurements to start. But as of when it will start, you are not aware. Is that it?
Yes, just to let you know that we have received some kind of approval, and I'm sure that anytime soon. But I want to use this opportunity today, this morning, the Honorable Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso Bochi, is going to unveil an innovative solution that will transform how this country will maintain our roads. And it's going to launch a new app, an app that he's going to unveil himself, that will put the power of road maintenance reporting directly into the hands of citizens of this country and local authorities. So you, me, every other person. And it's just that with just a few taps on your phone, the buttons you can press on your phones and all that, you can report potholes, you can report damaged sections, signs, and any other road hazards you encounter.
Right. Cecil, you have told us you have told us on many occasions that there are not enough funds to fix all the roads that we need to have fixed. So it's the point that, there's a lot of reports. If you go online, social media, if you listen to radio, you watch television, every day there are reports of poor road network or road accessories that have been stolen or vandalized. It is a dearth of solutions to these answers that we are not having. But this app, I thought this app will be a solution. It seeks to rather, from my view, want to collate the problems and let you know. Is it that you've not known that they exist, or is it that the problem is that you don't have the resources to fund them all, so you have to prioritize and see which one is more important?
No, I'm happy you have mentioned prioritize, and I think that's that's the direction we're going to go. This app is just not about reporting problems; it's about building a community of engaged citizens and who care about our infrastructure. So when you find a problem like I have heard on the atomic road, I've heard on a number of, it wouldn't just be like the misinformation that is going on, but actually an information that will come to our call center. We pick it up, we process it, and then we approach the very people who are in charge, and then see how we can follow up how these things can be dealt.
Who's So I don't know. There's some sound in your phone. I don't know if you could reposition yourself, but there's a bit of feedback from.
I was actually driving. I had to park.
Okay. So my next question is, who created this app? How much is it costing us?
I can't share much details with you about how much it's costing us. I know it's an initiative and the ingenuity of our honorable minister. And this morning we'll give this to this app. So after the launch of this app today, we can do all those necessary questions, and when there are details, I will share.
Thank you for staying with us up to this point. There's the issue of the extension joints on the Malam and then the atomic flyovers. What's the plan? Because this is causing a lot of hazards to road users and commuters.
Well, can you come back again?
I'm asking about the extension joints. Has this not come to the attention of the authority? If it has, what has been done about it?
Extension what?
Extension joints. So on the flyovers,
Okay. Expansion joints.
Expansion joints. Thank you. That's what I mean.
Oh, it has. I can share with you because I've been talking to our engineers I have seen social media, social media promos and all that, and people talking about some of these expansion plans. I am aware that it requires some kind of preliminary engineering works, and I know that our engineers have conducted some of these preliminary works already, and as soon as possible, or let me say as soon as practical, yes, our bridges maintenance unit will move in to site to complete works as far as so we recognize safety issues to road users, and I would use this opportunity again to appeal to them when they approach some of these expansion joints, for instance, knowing very well that on your way to the house or on your way to work, you are approaching this particular joint. Please just slow down a bit. So
Fair enough. Thank you. I'll leave it here. We'll come back to you later, as this is a forever issue. We'll keep revisiting it as and when we have to. Cecil Neobodai Wentum is the PR for the Ghana Highway Authority. So approval has been given for procurement of street lights for the motorway, and then also some work will be done soon on the expansion joints. But he believes that the motorway is the structural integrity of the motorway no longer stands, and so people should be mindful when they are driving. They should watch their speed and stuff like that.
Well, I would urge Cecil and his outfit, as they meet to launch their maintenance app today, to expedite the action of the speed limits and enforcement of that speed limit on the Tema Road. We need it to save lives whilst they deal with their structural integrity business, because functionally it is killing people. Functionally it is spoiling cars. Functionally it is disrupting productivity. And it's not just that road, quite a few others that need attention. Okay, but what we need is for them to not tell us that we should have the speed limits in our heads when we use the motorway. No. Put a sign there. Announce to the entire country that henceforth, until we deal with the problem of the motorway, it is no longer an expressway. You cannot be speeding on this road. So drive at 50. You see the way when you drive in the inner cities, they put up a sign that tells you 50 km. There are places that tell you 30 km. Put those signs on the Tema Road and let us know that henceforth it is no longer Tema motorway. You are supposed to drive at this speed. Let us see the visibility of the MTTD on that road, because for a road that claims the number of lives, that has the number of accidents on it, there is very little visibility of the police, particularly from those who use it daily. Bernard is a very frequent user of that road, and he says he barely sees police the way he wants to see police on a road like that. That has the kind of incidents rates that we have on that road. It's very important that they do these things immediately. As for the app, they've built it. As to whether somebody will use it, I don't know. Ghanaians are not app using people like that. Particularly when it comes to
from COVID tracker app to performance tracker and
I don't want to be negative, so I'll leave it there. But we all know how this will end with this app. We'll leave it there. But they have a lot of work to do on the roads. Let me just add this as well, just to move forward. I raised this issue some time back. We still need the MTTD or the police to let us understand who can stop a vehicle in traffic. I'm told DVLA has people.
Who are checking for
yes,
roadworthy and insurance and things like that.
No problem. I think. Who are they? How do we identify them? You see, there's the identification issue and the jurisdiction issue. So Sky entered and the word has entered my head. The jurisdiction issue, you see, because I've seen those in blue, a unit in blue, and I saw it a while back.
With some reflectors and all.
No, they're not wearing reflectors.
They're just in blue.
Yes, they wear the light blue top and then the dark blue trousers. They stop vehicles, inspect documents. I don't know who they are. Maybe that's the DVLA unit. But if our reading of road regulations are right, we do understand that it is the black under certain circumstances and the black and white under certain circumstances. That's the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service. And then the police itself, who can stop your vehicles depending on the situation that you find yourself in, to make enquiries as to show certain documents or whatnots. And we know that if the blue is with the police, that can happen. But to have a situation where I'm driving and my car is flagged down by that person in blue, for instance, I will not stop. Because I don't know you. You understand? I have not been told who you are by any of the road authorities, any of the traffic authorities in this country, unless there's been some addition that we don't know of. And most of the time, they end up, with the commercial drivers tend to suffer more than private cars. Yeah. But the thing is, let us know. If they have the authority to do so, let us know. So that when it doesn't become an argument amongst people. Who are you? Why are you stopping me?
How to identify who has the power to stop?
Because people already have enough problems dealing with the police as it is, and all the things that come with that. We all know the numbers. Alleged extortion, this and that. Then you have these people too, who suddenly might think that they have the power to stop you, and then they'll say, "Sky, they ask you where's your license? They ask you where's your insurance? They're asking you." Meanwhile, the AG even recently has told the Ghana Police Service that there are certain things, And there was one last week. I think it was at Hansonic also. I saw one of them. He went to sit in somebody's car, drive.
To where?
I'm like, who is this person? Because if you tell me to sit in my car, and I'm sure if you try to tell Richard Sky that you are in blue, you want to come and sit in my car, even the black and white, he will not understand. How much more blue? So the Ghana Police Service, we beg you.
There must be clarity.
Let us just know. Put out a statement. You are very good. The PR office of the Ghana Police Service is very efficient. They do their work well. Let us understand who can stop a vehicle. Who are these blue persons? Are they traffic assistants? Are they traffic wardens? What are their functions? You see, because you cannot just be throwing people into the system. It's the same that happened with the community police system, where some community police started thinking that they were actual policemen.
So we are getting some developments here that the dangerous potholes on asphaltic overlay on the motorway that Bernard just spoke about is being fixed as we speak. This texter says he just passed by and he's seen that. We don't know what material, whether it's concrete or bitumen or asphalt. Yes, we asked Cecil and he was not able to tell us what mandates the contractor Maripoma, who is fixing the motorway, has, what timelines he has, whether he's refixing the potholes with concrete or with asphaltic overlay. We do not know. Nathan, I don't know whether you get a sense of urgency that when we have these conversations, whether you get a sense of urgency on the part of the institutions that are mandated to be, enhancing the quality of roads that we have. Indeed, we always go back to, we have had DDAP, we are going through that exchange program, and so this and that is what is happening. And then we find a nice way to say, but people should know that the roads are bad and they should learn how to drive, not to be knocking each other down, or not to be having collisions and all of that.
What have we done? You see, there are two things here. One, there is the hardcore work of putting the roads in shape, and that has not happened. And there are so many roads, so many messages, some on my phone, others through the WhatsApp box. People are complaining bitterly, you see, because roads are, Bernard was referring to them as arteries. Really, if people cannot move, the economy won't function. If there's no movement, there's no business. And if there's no business, there's no economy. And we all know what happens when the economy doesn't function well. So we need to see roads for how important they are. People need to move. Goods need to move. People need to move around and offer one service or the other. Products need to be delivered. So we need to understand the value of roads. But unfortunately, because of corruption and all kinds of things, we spend hard-earned money, most of the time borrowed, that we will all pay for, And yet, after a year or two, the roads are in horrible conditions. You can drive around. The Musuku roundabout towards the Pokwasi interchange road is, in the space of 2 years, I've seen that road go bad in the space of 2 years. A road that was tarred, now it's horrible. All over the place. The road that Godfred refers to as the Tema Road, which is still officially the motorway. The Legon place Bernard was talking about, expansion joints off. Somebody sent me a message, Malam. So if you drive from Bayard, Awosh, and you turn onto the N1 towards Malam, expansion joints.
I use it every day. It's bad.
See, so
and it's been weeks.
So we need to understand that if we don't fix these roads, we'll pay a bigger price in terms of mobility, in terms of injury, because there will be crashes and the general inconvenience. There's that. Then there's the other bit about what have we done to sensitize the public? Have we informed the public that, for example, the Accra-Tema motorway as things stand is not safe? So, road users, please reduce your speed. What has been done to ensure that people are aware of the condition? You can say all you want about the roads being bad, but people are so used to driving on the motorway at a certain speed, it will take a lot more public sensitization to rewire the thinking
and
get people, and get people to change the way they do things. But as for the road being in good condition, we'll call on the duty bearers to do so because it is their function. They are the ones who are supposed to fix the road. How can you have a 19-kilometer Accra to Tema motorway or Tema to Accra motorway and there are no street lights? Our colleague Kafui, they drove around. He counted 100 plus street lights that were not functioning. How do we live in a city where street lights don't work? And what now? Driving at night or driving after hours is almost like a dance with death. You are wondering, it's almost roulette. You are hoping that nothing shows up to catch you off guard. Why are we doing this? The other day I drove on the Legon Road like this. No street light. No street light. Why? We can complain all we want about people misbehaving or having deviant conduct, going around to steal the lights and everything. That's why the law must work. So if you putting enough infrastructure, cameras are working, police is visible, you arrest those people. But away from all of that, the people in charge of the roads need to have constant vision of the road or a constant eye to see what is happening. Because if roads are bad and we can't move, there's no way this country is functioning. There is simply no way this country is functioning if we have bad roads.
The sad part is when the people who are supposed to lead us, give us solutions, join us to complain. And when we ask for direction, where are we going, what needs to be done, then they are complaining that the people are doing this, the people are doing that. Sky, we've been talking about this motorway thing.
Our very good friend Cecil was talking, and Godfred mentioned it. This app to it doesn't sit okay. So wait, I just want to find out. So
if you see pothole, take picture.
I'm asking.
If you see pothole, say something.
Hold on. So the ministry or the departments and all of that, don't they move around very often? Are they not liaising with local government?
We've sent several lists of bad roads to the ministry.
Because I thought that the MCE's office or the municipal assembly would have several parts, one of which would be a roads person, not so. So you should have a health person, an education person, and a roads person, and other. I thought those offices would have some. So if the whole of Accra is difficult to supervise or monitor, that's why you have the local assemblies. There should be somebody who is seconded by the Department of Urban Roads or wherever there, just to go around and see this road is in bad shape. Then you liaise with your mother office to get work done.
Yeah.
So this app, I wonder, is it that now citizens now have to tell the people where the bad roads are? How does it work? So when I take a picture, I send it, and then when they come and work on it?
Sky, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know which road you use here today, but look, we are back to
read this message. Jesse from Sakumono says, if apps solved problems, Ghana would have won the World Cup by now because we play a lot of e-games. I recommend segments on air where we report this. The fact is, authorities act faster if it's on radio or social than a so-called app. If we make noise on radio, they will act.
Anyway, the effectiveness of the solutions that are proffered to the problems also show you the direction and the seriousness of those who are charged to do the same, right? There are a lot of messages, so I'll just get you.
Let me just
let's read some of what you have to say.
Okay, let's start from here. This one says, the way this guy is complaining, why can't they let the police patrol these areas? What are the police doing? Why can't they be sent there to monitor these lights when they are being fixed?
There's a simple solution to that problem. Well, not simple, but a common sense solution.
Right.
What is a motorway? Cars move on the motorway at 100 km. Right? Consistently.
Yeah.
If the motorway is a motorway, nobody is crossing the road with cars that move at 100 km consistently to climb
think of stealing street lights.
It's because the environment changed.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
If the structural integrity Cecil is talking about and the functional integrity are restored, they might not have those problems. It's the same on the N1. The N1 is an expressway that has a significant amount of built-up zones and slowdowns there. So it allows human beings to operate like that.
It's quite a thing.
This one, Michelle from Kofredia says, there's a more serious situation at the flyover on the McCarthy Kaswa Road. Yeah, we've mentioned it. I've had a few people sending me messages. This one says, as you guys are still talking on the Temamutu, there's a crash right here at the median. There's no police. It just happened, and the people involved are held by the people in the area, and they are lying on the ground. That's at 8:40 a.m. or it was at 8:40 a.m. Eric around Trasako. Mokole says, Nathan, don't forget to mention the horrible state of the Kwabenya Tipa intersection and the Bom Junction intersection. It's true. Hey!
What, a Bom Junction?
Hey!
So is this where the taxi rank is before you head towards
very good. So when you drive from, say, Musuku roundabout and then you go, you get to that intersection. Left takes you towards the Pokwasi interchange.
It's bad.
Ahead takes you to, I think,
also because it's a hilly area, there are stones pecking out.
See, over the span of 2 years, I have seen that road go bad. Right before my eyes, I've seen it go bad. This one says the DVLA should use their database of vehicles to get those with expired roadworthy certificates, etc., to book. Stopping vehicles on the road for checks is ancient in the current world. Fun rolling Tema.
Yeah, this one says on the system. I mean, just send the person an email or something.
Email. This was thank you for the insightful discussion. Recently, when approaching the Sogakope barrier, I noticed individuals in reflective jackets, reflective vests, on the bridge side of the barrier. They were armed with AK-47s and they were stopping cars and intimidating most drivers. We are uncertain about their identity and the agency they represent. Kobe in Sogakope. So, again, that's something for the police or the MTTD to figure out.
And identify.
Please identify them, because we can't have strange people stopping us, Kwabena Nyako in Accra says, why is the roads ministry launching an app for citizens to report on roads that need maintenance? Are they not the ones responsible for monitoring and maintaining the roads? That's the question.
Good question.
Are they saying they are not aware of the road conditions? So when the citizens report on roads that need maintenance through the app, will the ministry secure the funds to fix the road? Then, apart from roads, what about improving and building well-structured railway systems across the country, beginning from inter-towns? Nene Agbo from Kwewu Praso. This Ibrahim from Beachley says, the PR of the GHA is making things up as he goes along. You can tell there is no clear plan to solve any of the issues raised. He even attempted blaming motorists for things they should be managing. From what he said, it's clear we'll suffer with poor roads for a very long time. This one says, the PR of the GHA should take a careful look at what he's communicating to us. Ghanaians are not dumb. They must wake up and live up to their responsibilities, as their inactions are endangering the lives of the populace. This one says, even Ghana Post crowd, we are not even using it because we all prefer Google Map. Waste of money. Ghana leaders, dear, they don't know how to prioritize issues. John from Kolibu. Kobe from New Wager is saying this road thing, there's a similar thing on the Malam overpass, the side that leads to Malam Junction through to McCarthy Hill. The gap is so big that a smaller car's tire can fit halfway. Normally, some vehicles try to swerve by using the sideway to Malam, just beside the overpass. That side too now looks like a manhole.
It's terrible.
Wow. Same message on the Malam overhead. This one says they did some asphalt overlay that's raised the road level, causing the expansion gaps to now become mini gullies. Now any vehicle that gets there is forced to slow down, and it's created needless traffic. There's no light there, so imagine if you are coming from the N1 with the top speed and you hit this gully. Only God can save you.
It's bad. It's honestly very bad. And I don't know how that road will be asphalted again and then the expansion joints will be left like that.
Anyway, David...
It really doesn't make sense to me.
David Ayete Kwashi says, thank you for the input on the Afinia traffic. I was working at a school at Friday where I lived at Afinia. I had to leave home at 5:10 every day to start work at 8:30. This is just a 15-minute drive. However, I spent 2 hours to cover it. That's how it's been in the last 15 years.
15 years.
This one says, God bless you for your comments on the joinings on the Atomic Junction Bridge. See, if your car's lower arms are not strong enough, the bridge will simply destroy them for you. The only way to lessen the impact on your tires and its surrounding components is to really speed over them. Last month, I almost ran into a car ahead of me, which suddenly slowed down as I was trying to get over these joints slowly, whilst I was trying to go quickly over them. It's that bad. David in Hachu. Bernard, the president was at the Ashaman roundabout before the 2020 elections to cut the sort to dualize the Tema at Kosombo Road. Nothing after that. This one says we are own doom. Contractors do shoddy works. In our roads lifespan is just 2 years and we end up going back to fix them again and again. When are we going to move to new roads? We are just terrible. But as for this new road issue, even the ones undergoing construction are giving more hell. I have been in traffic from Amasaman heading to Accra since 6:30 a.m. Come and see the traffic here. The contractor is not helping with the various diversions. This one says between 6:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. you can't even use a motorbike or a bicycle from Ashaiman to Katamanso. The traffic is terrible, and the worst part is that the drivers will now change the mode of loading. They will take you to Atadeka, and when you get there, they will now load Katamanso. And Marceline sent that particular message.
See, one of the things I have to do today that's troubling me. Today is my sister's birthday, right?
Happy birthday to your sister.
And it also happens to be our mother's 12th anniversary since she passed.
Oh,
and
my deepest condolences.
Thanks. And I'm thinking about visiting my dad who's at Zain. So it means I have to use the motorway to go to Ashaiman. And these two things, the motorway, Ashaiman, the roads, it's giving me headache. Because by the time you're even done with the motorway and then you get to the Ashaiman market, it's not a road, okay? The market people are selling on the road. People are pushing yam in wheelbarrows and things, motorbikes, like trucks are parked. Everything is so chaotic. It's been 8 years. We are saying that we now need an app for the people of Ashaiman to upload pictures of the roads in Ashaiman, show them the drains in Ashaiman, to now draw the attention that the roads in Ashaiman are not good. Is that what we are saying? If you go to Zenu, it's even worse. The rains have eroded the road. The gullies, the potholes where there are bridges, it's gaping potholes now. Everything is just really bad. We've neglected very significant portions of parts of the city, and now you're telling me you need an app? Really? An app? To do what? To show you where the roads are? You're telling me that you don't know where the bad roads are? How many times have we not spoken about these roads? Huh? Major ones. Do the major ones and maintain the other ones. And some of the messages that have come, when the roads are done, you have supervisory officers at the MMDAs, you have supervisory officers. Every municipal assembly has a highway authority, don't they? The highway authority themselves have supervisors. Are we saying that our supervisors don't know where the bad roads are? The other thing is also about quality assurance. How come roads that are fixed months prior, a few days down the way, they are gone bad and no one is surcharged for anything? There was a point, I remember the Auditor General said they were going to even audit roads that are done to be sure that the quality met a certain minimum standards. If they didn't, they could get surcharged also. What happens to contractors who cut corners and put up bad roads? Because in the same country, we have seen Ghanaian contractors who construct roads and they last for so long. Why are the others doing anything different? And why are we leaving them? Why are we watching? We're spending so much for so little. And already we don't have much. I don't get it. It's not making sense. And up.
Well, Caleb, good morning. The fact is that it's not an either or. We live in a new age where the collection of data on what's happening around you sometimes would depend on what citizens are saying and what they are drawing your attention to. Of course, traditionally, what we've seen in this country is people calling into radio stations to complain, people sending anonymous letters, people writing open letters to those in authority or even the media houses to complain about specific sections of the road or this part of the country, and so forth and so on. So if those are the Ministry of Roads and Highways come to the realization that, okay, data collection as to where exactly the problems are is one of the problems they have, I mean, they are entitled, once they have covered the necessary grounds, to put in place a modern way of collecting data and hopefully acting on it. I don't think that we should begrudge ministry for saying that, look, they want to use modern ways of mobilizing data. Because in this day and age where everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, the speed with which we have to do things and ensuring that we have a reliable way of knowing what is happening, I honestly don't think there's any problem with it. The question is whether we are going to use that as an excuse to say that, because we do not have, apps monitoring what is happening on the ground, that is why we are not fixing the problem. And I don't think that suggestion has also been made. I think there are more critical issues to ask about. Yes, if you already do know about the problems already, for instance, the Tema motorway. So we have been talking about it consistently. Even in the absence of the app, what have you done about it? The atomic area, in front of the Presbyterian Boys Secondary Senior High School, we've reported on that consistently, that the expansion joints are giving way. What has been done about it? The Malam area that you spoke about.
Yep.
These are also areas that citizens have drawn your attention to. So if your attitude in the past has been to be lackadaisical or to pussyfoot over the matter and not do anything about it concretely over time, then merely introducing technology as a way of collecting data on where the problems are would not, without more, solve the problem.
Because you understand the reason why people are skeptical about this. People have had demonstrations upon demonstrations, several media stories have been done. If you go to the Damfa stretch, for example, Damfa Otinibi going to Ayimensa, connecting to the Adenta Dodowa road, that road, do we now need an app to tell the people that it is not good? People have been complaining for so long.
What do you call it? Caleb, what I'm trying to say is that,
you feel that
don't make it look as though introducing an app in and of itself is a bad thing. You understand? What I'm saying is that, yes, people have complained, very little has been done. That should not mean that if we have a more efficient way of collating information as to where the problems are, we should not exploit it. That's previously
makes sense.
In the newsroom.
Makes sense.
We were calling reporters to now fax their reports to Accra, right?
Yep.
The introduction of WhatsApp meant that we created a platform as one of the ways to receive the information directly from reporters. So technology, yes, we are in a new age. If that is what they believe would augment or help their effort to fix the problems we have, fine. Because if you are going to your house and you see a problem, if that app is truly functional, perhaps, I don't know what the interface looks like or what the key components are. If you feed that into the system, the expectation is that, okay, they should give us a response time. That, okay, when you feed this into the system, within 2 days or 24 hours or 48 hours, the problem will be resolved. You don't want a situation where you are collecting data from citizens on what's happening and you are sitting down not doing anything about it. Then you have not solved the problem.
Okay, I got you. Sky, if you go to the Ministry of Finance's website, what you see is oops.
What's oops?
Oh, sir, it's not working. So they give you oops. So there is an article actually Neil Noy Thompson has written that's on citinewsroom.com, right? We have some friends coming in. I'll bring you that. But it says oops is something we should associate with or expect from. It's not something we should associate with or expect from the government, either from a ministry and its various departments and agencies or many state-owned enterprises. But that's exactly the message you get when you try to access the marketing and statistics page of COCOBOD, the cash-strapped cash cow of the government, whose leadership has been at the center of controversy for a long time. They've been oopsing for at least the past year that I've been trying to access those statistics. That's the COCOBOD. If you go to GEPA, DS is sorry for information on its activities in districts where entrepreneurship and development actually take place. Let's go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration. Their website is perhaps the most bizarre. As of July 19, 2024, the homepage simply displayed a vacancy announcement at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. If you go to the Ministry of Finance, whose website address still reads mofep.gov.gh from its old name of Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, means that even the name has not been updated. Access to various parts of the mobile version of the site was barely functional, with the site choked instead with photographs of a minister who was fired months ago for wrecking the economy.
Caleb, I understand the point you are making.
Skepticism,
and it's a brilliant piece by Dr. Nimoy Thompson. All it means is that the people who are managing those spaces, whose job it is to update those sites, ensure that they are relevant for the purposes that citizens want to use them to. They are not alive to their responsibilities. They don't know what time it is.
Okay.
Now that is a different thing from saying that we should not rely on the technologies that will help us. Okay. They are two different things.
Okay.
You can have proper technology deployed to achieve a particular end, right? And deploying it and not using it. That's a different thing from saying that, we don't need it at all.
Okay, that's
so the people who are occupying these spaces
must be up and doing.
If someone is alive to his job requirements, he or she would ensure that these things are functioning properly. It should not take a journalist or an economist writing about it for something to be done. All it means is that the information officers and the IT people are not doing their job. And the people who should supervise them are equally not alive to their responsibility.
Okay, thank you. So add to the app that you are developing a more responsive department that looks out for these roads that are not working. And beyond that, things must get fixed. That's what the people are asking for. We don't just want to be reporting for the sake of reporting. We want to report for the effect and impact that will be had on the situation, that the problems will be solved with dispatch. That's what the people are asking for. So you heard Richard, the last guy, Nathan Kwao is here. More messages are coming in, but we have friends coming through from GIZ. So when we come back, we'll talk to them and then bring you more of your messages. Stay tuned.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street in Osu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch scratch, or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It's a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you just for that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
The Private and Financial Sector Program, Ebenezer Korte, Executive Director, Microcredit, ASS Ghana Association, that's right. In the meantime, Nathan has a quick announcement before we get into that.
Yes, Latex Foam is saying that your comfort and well-being should never be compromised on. That's why you need to visit their showrooms and check out the amazing pieces of furniture they have and high-quality mattresses they have on sale. Latex Foam is your partner for life. Visit them and sleep better tonight. Call them on 0302231155. Twisco is the latest chocolate drink on the market. It's from the producers of Cowbell, and it's made just for you. It tastes really nice and is filled with energy and vitamins. To enjoy the goodness packed in a sachet, just put it into a mug, add boiled water, milk, and then stir. And you can power your day with start your day with a cup of Twisco and power your dream. This ad is FDA approved.
Nice.
Now, the 8th of August at the Mervyn Peak Ambassador Hotel at 9 a.m. This year's edition, or the 13th edition of the Ghana Economic Forum, will be happening. It's brought to you by the Business and Financial Times in partnership with KPMG and Arthur Energy, who are exclusive knowledge partners. The guest speaker is Dr. Ernest Addison, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, and he's speaking on the theme Unlocking Opportunities, Re-engineering Ghana's Economic Model for Sustainable Development. If you are interested, call 0209-457-427 or visit GhanaEconomicForum.com for further details. GEF 2024, Ghana First. And Express Pay say that if you want to send money, use their app because they've got a very, very low price or low prices to help you. If you send 100 cedis, you pay 1 cedi. If you send 200 cedis, you pay 2 cedis. And if you send any amount above 1,000 cedis, you pay 10 cedis. So download the Express Pay app for simplified payments and live your life in a wonderful way. T's and C's
very important. Apply. Thank you, Nathan. Now let's welcome the technical advisor and executive director into the studio. We are talking about financial education, isn't it?
Exactly.
Sure. Please, you're welcome. Financial literacy education. The way Kromaya Shino. If you are talking about financial education, people are excited. So I am happy to welcome you to the studio. Are you coming to share money or what exactly are you doing? Let us know so we know how to position ourselves.
Thank you. So we are here to empower you.
Nice.
To have more and to manage what you have.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so that's the thing. You are not sharing the money. You are rather empowering us to find the money and multiply it and use it meaningfully, right?
Exactly.
What's necessitating this financial education campaign?
Okay, so let me also say good morning again to your listeners, and the reason why it's necessary for us to have this. In fact, I am from GIZ. I'm in the German Development Corporation,
right,
and supporting the industry players, especially the microfinance and the savings and loan sector, to deepen the knowledge of their clients, as it were.
Okay.
We are looking at empowering the clients in terms of access to finance, not to end there, but also look at the usage. So we know that when customers know their rights, when they know what they are supposed to do, they can access finance, they can use the financial service available to improve employment. I mean, that for the fact that their businesses could grow, it is linked to employment creation. And we know that is one of the issues that we have to deal with here in this country.
Right.
So access to finance and usage is very important.
Very, very important. Yeah. Now you're focusing on the MSMEs.
Yes.
Why so?
So like I said, we know that they contribute a larger chunk in terms of employment in this country. I mean, over 70% of that.
Yeah.
And even GDP is the same. So the private sector drives Ghana's economy. That's why we are interested in partnering the financial sector players, especially those who serve the MSME sector. That is why we are collaborating with them to ensure that we're able to educate them, empower them, because you know that when you're empowered, you're able to do the right things that gets you the right results.
That's very important. Now, one of the things that's happening is that because of how difficult times are, a lot of people are getting themselves into multiple loans and is leading them into debt. Some get suicidal and all those kinds of things. So, Ebenezer, you tell me how in these difficult times people can avoid running into multiple debts and all that kind of thing.
Yes, rightly so. I appreciate the issue that you have raised. A lot of work has been done in the space from the perspective of the regulator and also at the association level. This issue about multiple loan requires a lot of attention. I believe that it's important for the generality of the public to look at responsible borrowing, so we don't create problems for ourselves, our families, and of course, by extension, the country. And one of the things we need to look at is to plan and do appropriate planning. My view is that if there is something that we want to do by way of financial decisions, it's important for us to speak to experts, those who have insight and understand issues that relate to finance, so we can be guided in our financial management issues. I believe that this is one of the ways that can help us get out of debt, so we don't burden ourselves, we don't burden families, and of course, by extension, those around us. So it's important for us to plan exactly what we want to do, so that we don't move by impulse, take decisions that ultimately would affect us.
Now, when there are a lot of financial literacy education campaigns, one thing we are told is to save, invest. Now, recently there was a situation where some customers showed up at their where they do their savings and loans, and they saw police officers and people from BOG, and the story was that the owner had jackpot and people's money was lost and all that. In saving and investing, what are we supposed to look out for? How do we know how credible institutions are so we don't get into such situations?
I think it's important for us to save, and it's also extremely important to invest, especially looking at the times in which we find ourselves. But we also need to be guided when we take that decision to save or invest or even borrow. So it's important for us to look at doing business with licensed financial institutions. Financial institutions. For me, my brother, it shouldn't be difficult to find out whether that institution that you want to do business with by way of savings or investment or borrowing is licensed. I think the regulator has made enough provision for us, put in place the right structures to help us validate whether a particular institution is licensed or not. So the emphasis is on licensed financial institutions. An institution may have a certificate. That doesn't mean that institution is licensed by the regulator.
Wow. So how do I find
this
out?
is where the challenge is. My view has always been that it shouldn't be difficult to ask. It shouldn't be difficult to find out. It shouldn't be difficult to pick a phone and
so
call.
Should probe, ask questions.
Ask questions. I think it should be basic. Check, recheck, and cross-check.
Okay.
You shouldn't be moved by what is happening around you when a certain decision is taken, either to invest or to save.
Okay.
You can even at the assemblies we have the business unit, the business advisory centers.
Okay.
You can go there to find out
If
that look,
they are in the register.
Exactly. They can assist you to a check from the regulator.
That's it.
In this case, let's say the Bank of Ghana,
I like it.
whether a particular institution is licensed
or
not.
That's a good
You
one.
can also go online. You can as normally I put it. You can ask Google to find out whether a
So
particular
do your
institution.
own checks before you take any
and
move.
of course, we also the Bank of Ghana work in partnership with associations. We have quite a number of them. Of course, one of which is my own association, the Microcredit Association Ghana. We have the Credit Union Association. We have the Association of Rural Banks. So once you Google, some information will be provided so you can follow through.
I see. So now, in assessing loans, a lot of people complain about hidden charges. Nana Kwame. There's a thing about hidden charges, whether or not people give full disclosure, and there's transparency in applying for loans. So on the part of those who are applying, about disclosure, full disclosure and transparency, and on the part of those of you who are giving, the thing about hidden charges, and give us some education on this.
Okay, so anyway, I don't give loans. This man gives loans. I mean, his members. But the most important thing is we say for this campaign we are using know your part and do your part.
Okay.
It means you must know your rights. You must know your responsibilities and ask the right questions. The institutions are required by regulation to provide full disclosure, to make a disclosure of what they are offering to the customer in terms of cost, whether it's interest, whatever charge there may be. They are required to display. They are required to make it known to the customer. Because mind you, you are signing a contract with the customer. That is why, even in a certain context, if the customer cannot speak English, you are supposed to read and explain to the customer in the language he or she understands before he signs. And if you are a customer, on the side of the customer, you have the right to ask questions before you sign. And I also recommend that usually you don't have to depend on just one financial institution. Shop around, just like we go for shopping. Shop around. Then you pick the right one that works for you. And just adding to the issue of borrowing and all that, in terms of over-indebtedness, we borrow for productive purposes, not for consumption. So usually, I mean, if you follow through that line, you realize that because what you are taking is coming to generate income for you, and you'll be able to pay back and also have some to invest into your business.
So if I'm going for a loan, my idea is not to buy a new car that will not fetch me money, but that will make people know that I'm a big man.
Yes. So if the new car is going to bring additional money,
no, I just want people to know I'm a big man.
Then I shouldn't go. That one is not in business. That's not business.
Or new wigs, so that when you enter the
obviously
system.
That's not business.
Oh, okay. Do people do these things?
Oh yeah. I mean, we know that.
Yes.
Okay, so if a financial institution does not treat me fairly, who do I speak to? Who do I report them to?
Yes, thank you so much. That basically has to do with a recourse mechanism.
Okay.
And it is the duty of the financial institution to treat you fairly. And it's also your right to demand same. What we are saying is that for starters, you can complain to that particular financial institution. then if you think that your issue, your complaint, your grievance has not been well addressed, then you escalate same.
Okay.
So you can speak to the head office of the financial institution. If, for instance, those at the branch you think are not managing your or addressing your issue very well. If you are still dissatisfied, then you go to the regulator of that particular financial institution. So, for instance, if it has to do with, let's say, a bank, a savings, a loans, a microfinance institution, or a microcredit institution, then you go to the Bank of Ghana, the central bank.
Right.
We have the Financial Stability Department that takes care of these issues. If you think that that has also not fully addressed, then you go to the court.
Okay.
Yes. So, but it's important not to sleep over your rights, because it also helps to shape policy. It helps to guide the state institutions, as in the Bank of Ghana, to become better.
Right.
So what we are saying is that, yes, if you have a grievance, if you have a complaint, make sure that you report and go through the appropriate processes.
Right.
Yeah, to get your issues resolved.
Thank you very much. The way money is hard to come by, literacy, financial literacy education is so important for.
But let me also add that,
very critical.
As I mentioned, Bank of Ghana work in partnership with associations.
Right.
So you can also find the association that particular financial institution works. Under,
so that they can deal with that. So are there any contacts people can reach if they need further clarification, they want to pick your thoughts on something, or they need your services in any way? Any contacts?
I think I'll leave that to
quite
let me add that in the process of trying to file your complaint, make sure that you always have some level of evidence.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just
word of mouth. There must be evidence of
yes.
this and
so
that.
if it's a passbook, make sure you have those documents
Okay.
to prove your case in any of these processes that you go through.
So, sir, please tell us, share the contacts with us.
020, quite simple.
Okay.
020 299 8882. So 8882.
Okay.
020 299 8882.
And we are good to go. Thank you so much for passing through the studio with your financial literacy campaign, Ebenezer Kwate. Kwate, right?
Yes, Kwate.
Yes, Executive Director, Microcredit Association Ghana, and Nana Kwame Redu, you are technical advisor to the support to the private and financial sector program.
GIZ.
We also
GIZ,
have some materials for you.
Good.
You can
Thank
keep
you.
them here.
We'll share with our listeners.
Some materials on investment, savings, and insurance.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your coming. That was Miss.
Thank you. We are most grateful.
Ebenezer Korte and Nana Kwame Redu Financial Literacy Education Campaign. And our friends from Copan Hospitality will be joining us shortly. So we have a conversation on the FIB Congress, the Federation of International Pharmacists Congress, which is happening soon in Cape Town, South Africa. Which bank in Ghana is always at your service? Omni Basic Bank. Which bank is ready to assist you with your 24-hour state-of-the-art contact center? Omni Basic. Which bank in Ghana is the fastest growing corporate bank and bank of the year 2023? Omni Basic. At Omni Basic Bank, we are always at your service. Call us on 0307 08 6000 or 0302 758 555, or visit any of your branches nationwide to open an Omni Basic Bank account today and enjoy exceptional customer service. Omni Basic Bank at your service. Tell you about Eden Heights is a well-planned and secured gated community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex, Olympic-sized swimming pool, football court, basketball, athletic and gym facilities. We have available 2, 3 and 4 bedroom apartments and penthouses with the highest grade of finishing for rental and sale. Eden Heights is delicately styled for your comfort and relaxation. We are located behind the West Hills Mall, Wager in Accra. For purchase and rental, call us on 0550-153-1444 or 050-153-1445. Visit our website on www.edenheights.com.gh for more details. Eden Heights, the height of modern living. So guess who's in the studio this morning? Priscilla Asiedo is the head of operations. Sylvester Kofi is communications executive, both from Copan Hospitalities. Yes. Copan Hospitality. Oh, I can feel your energy. Good morning, Priscilla and Sylvester.
Good morning.
Okay, how are you both doing?
You're very well, thank you.
Fantastic. Tell us about Copan. What's happening? Who is Copan and what services do you offer?
All right, good morning, Caleb. Yes. And good morning to your listeners. Okay. Copan Hospitality forms part of the Copan Group, which consists of Copan Logistics and Construction, Copan Properties, and Copan Sports. So just let me touch briefly on the 3 subsidiaries before I go on hospitality. So under Copan Logistics and Construction, we are into rent and sales of high-duty equipment. Okay. So your payloaders, excavators, and all of that. We do rent and sell some of these equipment. On Copan Sports, we are a certified FIFA agency that represent players in terms of negotiations, contracts, and all of that. And also let me add that we have a Division 3 team. So if there is any player out there who is interested in getting a career in football, you can check on our pages, and when we organize our periodic Justify Your Inclusion, you can partake and you can get you on board. Now let me get back to Copan Hospitality. So hospitality mainly deals with travel. So on travel, we do outbound and inbound packages. So on outbound, we do packages to Dubai, to Singapore, and especially any part of the world that you want to visit. And we also have the opportunity for people to call us or visit our offices and let us know the package that you want. That is a tailor-made package. So that is on the individual's preference on whatever that they want to do. We do that as well.
Right. So tell us about the 82nd Federation of International Pharmacists Congress, which is happening in Cape Town, South Africa. Do you have packages? Oh, okay. So that's the connection.
That is it.
Because when you're talking about all your time, now what has all this got to do with pharmacists and their conference in Cape Town?
Okay, so as you rightly said, the International Pharmaceutical Federation Congress is happening this time in Cape Town. It's a congress that happens every year, and this is the 82nd one. So it's basically a congress that brings together pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists, healthcare professionals for them to discuss the innovation in the health industry and the pharmaceutical industry. Right. And also the pharmacists and those who attend this congress get what we call CPD points. If you're a pharmacist, you know
CPD points.
CPD points. So more like continuous professional development points. So as pharmacists, they have a particular number of points that they need annually. So when you go for this congress, it adds to it. So what it is that this time, we've been doing this from 2019 every year, but this time the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has tasked us to do the travel package side of the congress. So if you're attending the congress, you pay for your registration and everything. Now it's not in Ghana, so what do? You need to go to where you're having the congress. That is where we come in to give you the travel package, your airline ticket,
Copan Hospitality.
You know.
So you do everything.
Everything, all inclusive. Package, just register and just leave everything to us.
And sleep.
So where you sleep, the transportation for the congress, the airline ticket to get you there, airport transfer.
That's stressful.
Everything is sorted, and we add tours too.
Oh, so that you can go and see
after the congress.
Nelson Mandela's house. You go to all the nice places.
You can't just travel to Cape Town and
no. You have to take pictures.
Yes.
And let the people know that
we do everything.
No, I like it. So I'm up for it. If I were a pharmacist, I sure will go, right? But the next question on my mind is, what are the requirements? What's the price? What's the dates? Is it my company that will sponsor? Should I do it myself? Give me more details.
Okay, so the Congress is actually happening from 1st to 4th of September.
Okay.
So because of that, we are using 2 airlines for this particular travel package. We have South African Airlines, and then we have Emirates. And then we realized that, I told you we've been doing this since 2019, so we have the experience.
Yeah.
So many a time people go and they feel like, oh, I don't usually get time to travel, so this time that I'm traveling, I want to do maybe another country in addition.
Okay.
So what we have done is that we have a package for those who want to do only the FIP. So you want to do only Cape Town. That one, you are going to depart from Accra 29th. You get to Cape Town on 30th. On the 30th and the 31st, you're going to have a tour. Then your conference will start from 1st to 4th.
Okay.
Afterwards, you're coming back to Accra. We have people who want to go to Johannesburg after Cape Town, because I've been in South Africa, I need to go to the 2 main cities. So we have people who, if you want to continue to Johannesburg, we have that package as well.
Okay.
And then we have another set of people who are going to use Emirates. They are going to depart from Accra on 30th. So these people are going to do Cape Town. They are doing the Congress. Afterwards, they are flying to Dubai and then to Abu Dhabi, all in one package.
My God. Oh, this is nice.
And it's all inclusive. Yeah. As soon as you pay for your FIP registration, you leave everything to us. Okay. As I said, we have a couple of packages.
Yes.
So with the one on South African Airlines, it's $1,650.
Okay.
So that includes everything.
Sure.
You don't need to pay for anything.
You just have to come with your clothes.
Exactly.
And you are there.
And the hotel is a 4-star hotel.
Nice.
It's about 250 meters from the Congress.
So what's the other package?
The other package is the one on Emirates.
Okay.
That is $2,100. Yeah. The good thing, every time you come to Citi, we are giving freebies.
Nice.
So
tell me about it. So
for all our packages,
Yes.
if you're registering between today and Friday and your reference is Citi FM, you
Yes.
get a $50 off any of the packages that you choose.
Are you serious?
Very serious.
For any of the packages
Any of
between
them.
now and Friday?
Yes. Just
$50.
reference Citi FM.
Yes.
Cool $50. And now you know the dollar rate. So
Charlie.
and then one interesting part of this whole package is that there are people who are not pharmacists, but they want to go on the package. There are people who are pharmacists and want to bring their partner.
I hope it's not Olympics anything.
Oh no.
People are not Paralympic. They show up. They say I'm a pharmacist.
Yes,
I'm Olympic. Oh my God.
So with those people too, we have something for them.
Okay.
So if you're not a pharmacist, whereby you can't go for the FIP, but you want to be in Cape Town during that particular time.
Right. So while they are there,
Exactly.
you can be doing other things.
Exactly. So we have arranged such that the dates that they'll be going for the Congress.
You can do your own
are
test.
doing tours.
I like it.
And it's also at a discounted rate.
Is it?
So instead of the $1,600 that is for the pharmacist,
Yeah.
those who are not pharmacists are paying $1,400 because
They're
they are not
part of the conference.
exactly.
Oh,
they are not
that's
part
so
of the
cool.
conference.
That's
So this
nice.
package for the pharmacists and also for the general public, anybody who wants to go to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai.
Give me your numbers. How can this man? Sylvester, you're not saying anything. Give me the number and let me call you.
So our numbers are 055
055
696
696
5924
5924
026 234 9886.
Okay, so when I call, I say, oh, Citi FM, I heard your voice, and I'm coming for the package. Then, we finish.
Cool $50 off.
Thank you.
You can visit our offices too at Special Plaza 1 building, Lagos Avenue.
Okay.
In East Legon.
Fantastic. Where can we find you on socials?
Copan Hospitality.
Copan Hospitalities, all socials, and we are good to go. Fantastic. Priscilla, give me your final words. Is it Priscilla?
Princella.
Sorry. I'm not looking. Princella. Okay. Princella. Please, your final departing words for Prince and Co.
Okay, so to the pharmacists, all I want to say is that if you're going for FIP 2024, you obviously need to participate, or you need to do it with a company that has experience. Since 2019, we've been doing this. We've done Abu Dhabi, we've done Spain, we've done Australia. So, you have the best company, and Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has tasked us too. So we are doing this in collaboration with them. So you have everything. I mean, just call Copan Hospitality and everything will be sorted out for you.
Great, fantastic. Sylvester, your final words?
Well, just to add to what Prince Ella just said, I mean, it's a call to all healthcare workers, and specifically pharmacists and all other individuals who are interested in partaking or participating in this year's FIP to come on board.
Thank you so much. So, Princella Siedu, Head of Operations, and Sylvester Kofi, Communications Executive, Copan Hospitality. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for passing through the studio.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world. At Heritage Christian University, you are assured of quality education. Accredited by GTech and affiliated to KNUST and UCC, we offer programs like Bachelor of Business Administration, Community Development and Theology, Theology and Ministry, Psychology, Nursing, Information Technology, Information Security, and Business Information Technology. Professional programs like ICA, CING, CIHRM, ABE. We also offer short courses on media and IT. What makes Heritage stand out is our experienced and scholar practitioner faculty, entrepreneurial training with financial support, ultra-modern facilities, and hostels. Qualifications for entry is WASI or SSC or GBCE, HND or Diploma Top-Up. Mature 25 years and above. Heritage is located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Contact us on 054-777-7731 or 020-229-8399 or www.hcuc.edu.gh.
Imagine a one-stop shopping experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Get ready to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Now Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM invites you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies that Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, we shall support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. The date, 31st of August and the 1st of September 2024. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day, and the venue is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how
crucified Jesus Christ.
Things to say, and our friends from Presec going to join us in the studio. We'll be having a conversation very quickly on the conversations under the baobab tree. In the meantime, the season is upon us where the world's greatest athletes will all gather in Paris for the 2024 Olympics. From the 26th of July to the 11th of August, DSTV will bring you the best coverage of every moment live and in HD via 8 dedicated channels. So tune in to catch our athletes Benjamin Azamati, Gio Paul Amwa, and our 4x100 relay team as they take on the world's best and hopefully chalk some wins. Renew your subscriptions today by dialing *759# to follow the 2024 Paris Olympic Games only on DSTV. DSTV is your home of entertainment. So there's a big conversation happening soon, and our friends from Preseg Old Boys Association are leading this one, joining us in the studio. Oh, let me allow this gentleman to introduce himself and tell us what brings him here. Hello, sir. Welcome to our studio.
I wish I could change my voice and pretend to be somebody else and say, my name is Fifi Ofosu. I finished Presec in 1984. But,
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Caleb. Thanks for hosting me.
Today
I'm here as Presec. I went Presec in 1996, finished in 98. I am one of 4 brothers who all went to the school.
Nice.
And I'm privileged to be part of the committee that's putting together the first Odadie National Dialogue.
Odadie National Dialogue.
Yes, we call it Conversations Under the Baobab Tree.
I see.
So much things to say.
There's so much things to say. Is the theme for this first edition. Because the principal speaker says
the things plenty.
The things are a lot. So he just used Bob Marley to create a topic. So this is the first of hopefully many conversations. You know, this is it. The contemporary German philosopher Jürgen Habermas, he says modernity and democracy meet at that nexus of rational public conversation. And that is the essence of progress. He calls it the marketplace of ideas.
Marketplace of ideas.
Where civil societies, academia, media come together to refine policy ideas. And he says, if we don't have a strong marketplace of ideas, economic and social life will suffer as a consequence. So basically, this is where we are coming from. We are not just talking. So what you do every morning, what these groups do, public lectures, it's the marketplace of ideas, because modernity and democracy, they meet at the nexus of rational public conversation. So the Odadie Dialogue is one of those where we are saying, look, knowledge doesn't reside in one man. And by the way, the reason we call it Conversation Under the Baobab Tree is that the school was founded in 1938 by the Presbyterian Church at Odumasi Krobo. And it's a very small compound, but there's a big baobab tree in the middle, which reminded us that knowledge is so vast and so wide that one man's hand
can't encompass it.
So we are meeting under that baobab tree
to
discuss ideas, and we'll have a principal speaker who's accomplished banker Frank Edu. One of the banks, I'm proud of, a Ghanaian bank started by Ghanaians doing exceptionally well. And he's led that bank for many years. He's now a retired banker. He's the president of Achimota Golf Club. Under him, Cal Bank financed a lot of big educational projects. So his understanding...
the 4 diasporan halls at the University of Ghana, Cal Bank played a key role.
He understood that to translate human resource to human capital, you must educate it. And that is why his bank committed a lot of resources to education. And in doing so, they also supported industrialization and other things. Now, if you do such a job for over 30 years, your reflections on society are very important. Now, he feels we've come to a point in our society where development is not really moving. We have this revolving door between the NDC and the MPP. And we can't seem to crack the development code. So he's going to bring his ideas from banking, education, financing, industrialization together. And also discuss constitutional issues.
I see that the other part of the theme is reflections on constitutional reforms and national development.
So some of the things he would suggest will obviously have to do with either rethinking our constitution or just thinking about how we organize ourselves.
Yeah.
So we have invited him to lead this first national dialogue.
Okay.
And it's happening tomorrow at the EcoBank Conference Center here at Ridge.
Okay.
And it's really a chance to engage in what we call rational public conversation. And knowledge doesn't reside in one man. So we have two very insightful discussants. Clara Kasati, we know her. She's a vice president at CDD. She's a lecturer in law at the University of Ghana Faculty of Law. And she's also very involved in constitutional work.
Yeah.
She'll listen to the speech and give some insights. There was also Kojo Pumpuni Asante, who's the director of programs and advocacy at CDD. Himself, and that day, he did his A-levels there. He did his Form 1 to 5 at St. Peter's High School. He joins that, and I'll be moderating this conversation around rethinking our reality as a country. So this is really what this first edition of the conversations
Under the baobab tree.
So it's called the Odadie Dialogues, Odadie National Dialogues. And we are not the first school to do it. I'm not ashamed to say, look, Achimota School have been doing this.
Yeah.
In Fanspim School, they do it.
Yeah.
I think
Swesco has been doing this.
Swesco did one recently. They call it the Swedro Dialogues. I think it even Prempeh College also do it. You know, we already have our Klufio Dacha lectures.
Right.
But those ones are more typecast. This one is a bit broader to try and attack more contemporary national issues. And this is the first one. So we're inviting all and sundry. In our school song, we say, happy are we, studious are we, students of Presbyterian Secondary School.
Yes.
Onward we march, we trudge along to happy victory. Our motto is a solid bulwark propping us along. In luminito videbimus lumen, in thy light we shall see light. Psalm 36 verse 9. And then it says, for Christian training we get a sure, solid foundation. And this is my emphasis, to take our places in the future of our country and church. And then this is the clarion call. Oh, come along and join us. Whether you went to O'Reilly or Freetown or whichever school you went to. Oh, come along and join us in this noble quest to take our places. Because our job is to lead our nation's transformation.
Right.
So what I do here is also in the spirit of Odadie, using media as a platform to bring change.
Yes.
Frank Edu is using banking and his public stature as a platform. Kojo Asante is using CDD as a platform. Because a nation is made up of the efforts of its citizens excelling in various fields and networking together. So we need you, Richie Sky. You're already an honorary Odadie. Yes, to join us, because you are an excellent journalist and a lawyer as well. Caleb as well. So come along and join us tomorrow, the 31st of July at EcoBank at 4 p.m. to have these conversations, which really is on so many things.
Yeah. So Prempeh College is invited, Adisado,
everybody, O'Reilly, Medina Secondary,
all of them.
They are all invited.
All of them.
Are we going to see Trade-Town conversation very soon?
And by the way, the conversation will be live. Caleb, I need to say the conversation will be live on Channel 1 television tomorrow at 4 p.m. So this conversation will be live on Channel 1 Channel 1 television as well.
Fantastic.
And we are happy EcoBank is sponsoring us to make this
wonderful, and thank you for...
We'll be there to lend our support as a station fully. I
need you there.
But there's news just coming
Tell
in.
me.
We were told that the Court of Appeal by a 2-1 majority has acquitted and discharged the minority leader of all charges based on the appeal against the ruling on the submission of no case.
This is in relation to the ambulance matter. Can you repeat that?
So I think the characterization should be that the Court of Appeal has ruled on an appeal concerning the submission of no case as filed by the minority leader's lawyers. Now, the effect is what has been the way it's been.
So let's take one by. So the minority leader filed an appeal for no case.
So he filed
a submission of no case, and then
which was dismissed by the court below. Now, based on that decision, they went up to the Court of Appeal. Now, what we are getting is that the Court of Appeal has set aside the earlier order.
So which means that what the lower court is doing may have to stop.
In effect,
so the no case has been granted. So that means that this changes the course of the current case in the High Court.
Exactly, unless the Attorney General goes up.
Wow, that's significant.
It's significant.
So the history is that Mr. Atufosun was being tried for the financial loss on the ambulance case. and he
the now very famous or infamous Ambulance case.
Yes, and then he filed a submission of no case, basically saying there's no case against me.
That's right.
The court says no, open your defense, you have a case to answer. He went to Court of Appeal, and Court of Appeal says your no case is correct. So whatever they're doing with all the Jakba issues down here, the Court of Appeal is higher.
Yeah. In effect.
So unless the Attorney General appeals the appeal.
Yes, that's right. So appeals to the Supreme Court.
Wow, this is taking a different turn.
And stay the order that is currently.
Wow, and this is this morning?
Yeah, just happening.
Yeah. So it's a panel of 3. They're in a 2-1 majority decision.
Who are the judges?
So so the justices are Justice Kweku Teria Akabuafu and Justice Philip Bright Mensah.
Wow.
And I believe that Justice Poku Echampon was the presiding judge.
The court system it fascinates me because it's almost like, there are even levels of court.
Yeah.
So you can go to a court and be declared guilty, but a higher court will consider other factors that maybe the lower court did not consider and come up with a judgment. So the Court of Appeal is the last but one.
Yes.
And then the Supreme Court.
Technically, no.
Supreme Court doesn't even come in if it's not a constitutional matter, right?
The reason is that the Supreme Court has a review jurisdiction, meaning that its own decision can be reviewed by the Supreme Court itself.
Okay.
So if you say Ladbab 1, it's not.
So Court of Appeal is where you appeal all cases except Supreme Court cases.
Yes,
I get it.
Except for some, there are exceptions.
Okay, can you appeal a Court of Appeal judgment?
Yeah, that's right. So that is why they
appeal it in another Court of Appeal.
Yes, which is the Supreme Court.
Appealing an appeal. That year.
So basically,
the news has taken over. So wow.
Basically, what it means is that the Attorney General's Department, if they are so minded, would have to look at the decision as made by the Court of Appeal. If they are minded, they may well have to, stay it and appeal to the Supreme Court.
So, Bernard, just a quick point of correction from my end. So, Justices Kweku Teria Akabuafo and Philip Bright were the ones who
upheld.
They upheld, and Justice Poku Echampon was rather against it. So it's a 2-1.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It's 2-1.
Well, when the court makes a decision,
the court has made a decision.
Yes, I mentioned all 3 as
dissent.
So this is a significant development.
It is.
Development.
Yes, especially given the circumstances surrounding the case, the heat around it, and recent developments. And the claim and the charges against the Attorney General's Department and all of that. But let us be mindful that this does not mean that the person is said not to have done what he's alleged to have done.
What does it mean?
So the case has not ended?
No. You see, when you say Kofi has done something, it is the job of the state to, when he opens this case, to prove that, prima facie, the person actually did what he is accused of doing. Then when he is done, then the person accused of doing the thing now has to answer for the charges that have been preferred against him. That is when you submit. That's right. When the state finishes part of the case, the minority leaders, lawyers filed a submission that, look, what you say I have done.
No case to answer.
Yeah, I have no case because you have not proven your case.
We have Edwin Tamaklo on the line.
Great.
So we just want to speak to him briefly. Good morning.
Yeah, Edwin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So you are just coming out of the Court of Appeal, and I just wanted you to summarize your understanding of what has just occurred for us whilst we are live on air.
Yes, so what happened is that after the prosecution called their witnesses, lawyers for the accused persons did what we call a submission of no case. The courts, the High Court, or that's the trial court, dismissed the submission of no case and ruled that a prima facie case had been made against the accused person, warranting them to open their defense. We appealed that decision for us to open our defense. It is that appeal that today the Court of Appeal, by a 2-1 majority, upheld the appeal, thereby acquitting and discharging the Honorable Keso Forson and Ricky Japa. By this, the court further ruled that the order by the trial court judge for the accused persons to open their defense is hereby set aside.
So does that mean that all that the High Court has been doing is null and void? Aborted. Good. But just for purposes of how long has this case been running? In terms of the substantive case, how long has it been running, and when did you file the no case? We just want a sense of the history of the timelines.
No, so as you are aware, the charges were brought December 2021. And we commenced the trial somewhere January 2022. Then the prosecution called about 4 or 5 witnesses. It was upon that basis that we did a submission of no case. And thereafter, the ruling came. So when the ruling came, we were ordered to open our defense, like I pointed out earlier. Then we mounted the appeal.
Does this appeal cover the other accused as well? Because
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That Richard Jaffa and Honorable Atuposen. Remember that the third accused has already been discharged by the filing of the nolle prosequi by the Attorney General. So it was left with the 2 accused persons.
So this covers both Honorable Atuposen and Mr. Richard Jaffa.
Correct.
So finally, just for legal education, can an appeal be appealed? I mean, we are not second guessing what anybody will do, but
I don't know what is in their mind, but anything is possible in law.
Okay, so this is not like the last stop necessarily.
Anything is possible.
Wonderful. Thank you for those preliminary thoughts. I'm sure we will have a longer conversation on Prime News and Eyewitness. So thank you, Edwin Tamaklo, counsel for. I think he's the first accused, Ato Fossen. This is a highly sensitive case, high-profile case. If I got to a point where the judge was even cautioning the media on how they reported it, because people were giving interviews, which they will come out of court and grant interviews which are affecting. So I think this is quite a significant development, which will probably cool down the animation for a bit, because Kai, the way even yesterday, right, the testimony of the CDS. When you read the newspapers, there are different twists to the testimony. And I think that sometimes, I'm a media guy and we like media work, but sometimes you, an officer of the courts, should be concerned when one matter comes and 2 newspapers have 2 interpretations of it from a court. It's not very healthy. So in a sense, hopefully this will cool down the waters a bit, and then the next move of whoever decides to do whatever will come. Because the way in which the case was proceeding in the lower court, just reading the headlines and it was becoming very concerning. It was becoming very concerning.
See, that's why courts sometimes, in very rare cases, will issue what is known as a gag order, which order restrains people who are who are normally in the business of running adverse commentaries about what's happening in the courts to stay there from doing so. But again, when these things are sometimes issued, you hear people say, look, the judge is violating the right to free speech and all of that. It is, very irresponsible things have been said on both sides regarding this particular matter. A matter has been taken to the courts. The courts, we expect, will do justice. Of course, people can have all kinds of suspicions. When that court fails to do its duty, you have an opportunity to appeal the decision. In this particular case, the counsel for the accused persons filed an application for a review of or an appeal against the earlier decision. And that decision, that appeal has succeeded.
Wonderful. So, Sky, we have to leave it here because we are crossing over to the Ministry of Education, who are hosting the general public on an address of the state of education in Ghana, to be addressed by the Honorable Minister for Education, Honorable Yawase Duchum. It's happening at the Accra International Conference Center. So Citi Breakfast Show crosses over to take straight commentary, and the MC is already speaking. So we're going to have that live coverage for you.